Chapter 251. Lin Luoran is very busy. There are a lot of chores in the space, but she doesn't even have time to rest. After coming back from the Dragon Palace, she first visited the Buddhist schools in the Four Mountains. After a tour, she made 2 sets of armors during the 6 months. She gave one to her father and the other to Luodong. Lin Luodong didn't have time to tidy up the space for a long time until Luodong started school. Spirit herbs are growing luxuriantly. She got all kinds of spirit herbs after making elixirs last time. In the strange time difference in the space, she can harvest a batch of spirit herbs which can be used to make low-rank elixirs like Gathering Chi Bolus. Lin Luoran has always felt that she is very rich. However, when she really needs money, she realizes that she will regret not having enough money when she needs it. Lin Luoran needs a lot of money now. The treasures in the Dragon Palace are very tempting, so is the magnificent private palace. However, Lin Luoran also has to shoulder the responsibility of purifying the waters of Dongting. This is a huge sewage purification plan. Even if she sells the Lin family, it is just a drop in the bucket. The reason is that the area of the waters of Dongting is too large. Lin Luoran wants to ask the government for help. Through Master Mu, the top officials readily agree. However, the state has no money. Huaxia is rich, but it has a large population and a large area. There are too many things that need money for national defense and people's livelihood. It is not that the state doesn't want to purify the waters, but it means that all the factories near the waters of Dongting Lake must be renovated. This is a huge project. Even the central government can't ignore the local economy and force it. To restore the original appearance of the Yunmeng swampland, it also involves the livelihood of many fishermen. Lin Luoran needs to solve all these problems. Therefore, Lin Luoran has a headache. She can calm down and cultivate, but she doesn't know where to start with these complicated plans. At the critical moment, Zheng Tian shows up like a timely rain. Lin Luoran suddenly realizes that what she lacks is not only money, but also a professional. Zheng Tian, who hasn't graduated from college for several years, is actually very talented in capital operation and business making money. Otherwise, if he was just an ordinary rich second generation, the Zheng family wouldn't allow him to invest so much money every year in the cultivation industry that was not recognized by the world before. Junior Master Lin, have you ever thought that your name alone is worth a lot of money? Zheng Tian doesn't know why Lin Luoran wants to manage the waters of Dongting, but he gives his opinion after hearing her request. My name? Zheng Tian touched the empty bottle in his bosom. He had already eaten all the medicinal pills he exchanged last time. In the past year or so, the effects were astonishing. He felt that if he went into closed-door training for a period of time, he might really be able to break through the Xiantian realm in one fell swoop and step into the Qi refining realm. From then on, he would transform from a mortal into an immortal and become a true cultivator. Thinking of this, Zheng Tian nods confidently, Master Lin, you are the last alchemist in the world of cultivation. Lin Luoran frowns. Are you asking me to sell boluses? Although 1 day in her space is equivalent to 1 year, selling boluses on a large scale is always a bad idea. Lin Luoran feels that it is not worth it to exchange the personal ability enhancement resources of her family for money. Zheng Tian waves his hands. He doesn't dare to ask Lin Luoran to sell boluses for money. Martial uncle, it's the pharmaceutical factory. Pharmaceutical factory? Open a pharmaceutical factory in my own name? You mean it's a pharmaceutical factory for ordinary people, not for selling boluses? Lin Luoran suddenly thinks that this plan is very feasible. What she has is not only the prescriptions of boluses, but also the incomplete book of the Lin family. All the prescriptions recorded in the book are very useful. The effect of the skin beauty bolus on Wang Miao is obvious to all. The other prescriptions must also be very useful. Lin Luoran frowns a little. Zheng Tian smiles. Martial uncle, you must have your own conclusion. There are too many problems involved in the pharmaceutical factory. If you don't mind, how about asking Zheng's company to participate in it? Lin Luoran bursts into laughter. What? You don't want to sell your house? Zheng Tian is embarrassed. There are only so many people in the state of Huaxia, and the housing prices are too high. Zheng's company has already made a lot of money. If we continue to compete with our peers in building houses, I'm afraid that the bubble will burst one day. It's not good to drag Zheng's company down with us. However, in the field of medicine, as long as our medicine is effective, how many people in the state of Huaxia catch a cold every day? What about the whole world? We can make a lot of money just by selling one special medicine. When it comes to business, Zheng Tian is very smart. Undeniably, Lin Luoran is persuaded by him. After thinking for a while, Lin Luoran smiles. I will come up with the prescriptions and be responsible for building the medicine base. Zheng's company will pay the money and be responsible for the marketing. You can use my name when you try to pull strings. Zheng Tian agrees. Of course, he doesn't dare to extort money from Lin Luoran. He says that he will calculate the cost and then calculate the equity. Lin Luoran tells him to think about it himself and drives Zheng Tian away. When she calls Master Mu to ask about the feasibility of this plan, Master Mu scolds her again. It's not that Master Mu thinks it's wrong to run a pharmaceutical factory to make money. He believes in the quality of the medicine with Lin Luoran's participation. However, the pharmaceutical industry is deeply involved with the health system and hospitals. If the medicine developed by Lin Luoran is popular, many people will be sacrificed. How can people be okay with this? The Zheng family is in the real estate business. You might as well cooperate with the Qin family. Commander Qin is very influential. Master Mu's advice makes Lin Luoran blush. Lin Luoran was born as an ordinary citizen, so she knows nothing about these things. After all, this is a society where ordinary people are the majority. If she doesn't understand these unspoken rules, she can't force people to sell the medicine even though she is a cultivator. Fortunately, Lin Luoran is good at listening to other people's opinions when she doesn't understand the field. She immediately invites the Mu family to participate. Master Mu is silent on the other side of the phone for a long time. He sighs. Well, the Mu family owes you a favor. It doesn't matter this time. Even if the Mu family shares in this matter, we will also participate in the construction of the medicine base. Lin Luoran has no problem with this. The Lin family is not a big family with a shallow foundation. She doesn't want her parents to be delayed by these ordinary affairs. The main focus of the Lin family is to cultivate leisurely. When Commander Qin comes to see Baojia, Lin Luoran brings up the plan. Commander Qin doesn't agree immediately as she expects. He stares at Lin Luoran for a long time. Why do you want to make money now? Lin Luoran feels guilty. Although I want to make money, the medicine is indeed effective. What do you think? Commander Qin is old and firm. He starts to gossip. Is it the medicine of Taoism? Isn't it too much of a loss for you to sell it? Lin Luoran shakes her head. If I sell elixirs to ordinary people, they will only waste the medicine. I want to develop some special medicine for ordinary people. Commander Qin stops talking. He thinks for a long time and shakes his head. You also want to develop some special medicine of the special medicine? There are so many old bastards like me who don't want to die. When they need your help, your pharmaceutical factory will run smoothly and make a lot of money. Lin Luoran puts her hand on her forehead. She hasn't experienced this before, but she is not stupid. She understands Commander Qin's words. However, she has a headache because she understands it. At first, she just wants to make money to build the sewage project of Dongting Lake. How come the plan is getting bigger and bigger? In the end, what does the Zhengs, the Mus, the Qins and the Lins want to do? Lin Luoran has a feeling that many people in the same industry will want to marry her in the future. Commander Qin looks at Lin Luoran's wrinkled face and pokes her nose. Hey, it's useless to think so much. If you need anything, you can contact Lu Sanchun. I adopted him as my godson, so he has many connections in the Qin's family. I don't have time to run a pharmaceutical factory. You can talk to him. Lin Luoran nods. Commander Qin thinks for a while and says, Lu is getting married next week. He will hold a banquet in the military compound. You can come to the banquet and get to know each other. Lu Sanchun is getting married? Lin Luoran can't help looking at Baojia's room. Even a pig can see that Lu Sanchun, an honest man, likes Baojia very much. He has been waiting for more than 30 years, but he has never had a girlfriend. Why is he getting married next week? Commander Qin sees through Lin Luoran's mind and smiles. However, he suddenly feels old. He doesn't know that Bao Jia is in trouble. I forced him to get married. My grandmother knows the result of the marriage between a mortal and a cultivator. I don't know if it's right or wrong. But you know Bao Jia's condition. We don't know when she will wake up. Do you want Lu to wait for her for the rest of his life? The Qins are not that shameless. It turns out that Commander Qin is worried about Bao Jia, but he hides his worry in his heart. Lin Luoran feels tears in her eyes. She gently hugs Commander Qin. Grandpa Qin, don't worry. I promise that Bao Jia will wake up. She will. Commander Qin murmurs, can I wait until that day? Lin Luoran nods hard. She has seen Commander Qin's body with her clear eyes. Maybe because of the ginseng given by the crazy Taoist in his early years, Commander Qin is strong and vigorous. In this condition, it is not a problem for him to live until he is 100 years old. Knowing that he still has many years to live, Commander Qin pats Lin's hand and smiles with relief. He is not afraid of death, but he is afraid that he will not be able to take care of his only granddaughter. It was always good to live a few more years. At the very least, he could silently watch these two girls reach a height in a dozen years. Only then would he be able to pass away with peace of mind. Lin Luoran deliberately changes the topic. Officer Lu is getting married. How can I prepare a wedding gift? Grandpa Qin, you have to give me some advice. Commander Qin glares at her. He dares to make money by getting married. I will break his legs. Chapter 252. Lin Luoran sees Li Shi's fiancée before Lu Sanchuan's wedding banquet. Lin Luoran sees a young cultivator walking around outside the door after she sees Commander Qin. The autumn sun shines through the glazed tiles of the folk street, casting a golden glow on the street where Lin's house is. The young cultivator feels the fluctuation of Reiki from the protective circle of Lin's house. He doesn't dare to wander around. Lin Luoran knows that the young man with a bag is a cultivator in the early stage of training Qi. He is not very handsome, but Lin Luoran has never seen a cultivator who is ugly because of the nourishment of Reiki. His eyebrows are very thick and he looks honest and straightforward. Who are you? The young man is calm. He has seen Lin Luoran for a long time, but he doesn't walk up until she sees the guest off. Master Lin, I'm Tofu. I'm here to deliver the butterfly bush flowers. Lin Luoran pats her head. She has forgotten something these days. It turns out that she has made an appointment with this cultivator named Tofu to see the butterfly bush flowers. You are Tofu. You must be in a hurry. Come in and have a drink. Lin Luoran can't blame herself. His bag is stained with mud and his face is not white. He is not like Tofu at all. Tofu follows Lin Luoran into the house carefully. As soon as he steps in, he gasps. Master Lin's house is full of pure and gentle Reiki. Anyone who cultivates here will be so lucky. Tofu is curious and careful, just like Granny Lu entering the Grandview Garden. He only dares to look around and breathe in the air full of Reiki. As an individual cultivator in his 20s, he has never seen such a place. In fact, even the disciples of famous schools have a better environment for cultivation than Lin's house. The bead is a converter of Reiki, and it is not something that everyone can have. Lin Luoran leads him to the living room. Seeing that he is a little nervous, Lin Luoran pours him a cup of hot tea. Thank you for coming here. It must be a long way, right? Tofu shakes his head. He doesn't drink the tea and hurriedly takes off the bag on his back. The cloth was unwrapped, revealing a large bamboo tube. Lin Luoran is surprised. This bamboo tube, which is a little bigger than a teacup, exudes light Reiki. It seems that it is not ordinary bamboo. The bamboo was filled with soil. 2 spiritual herbs that looked like mimosa were planted in the bamboo tube calmly. They were at the same height as the cut. Ah, thank you so much. Lin Luoran has recognized the 2 spirit herbs, one big and one small. They are butterfly bush flowers. The larger one was covered in purple flower buds and looked to be at least 100 years old. The smaller one was much smaller, at most 10 years old. Two of them are already beyond Lin Luoran's expectation. One of them even has flower buds, which makes her very satisfied. Of course, she was more satisfied with Tofu's attitude. This young man was afraid that the reiki of the spirit herbs would be lost on the way, so he specially found this kind of bamboo with light reiki to grow the butterfly bush flower. Seeing that Lin is smiling, Tofu is relieved. She must be satisfied with the two butterfly bush flowers. Seeing that he is finally not nervous, Lin Luoran asks with a smile, "This bamboo tube is unique. Where did you find it?" Holding the teacup, Tofu says, "Master said you wanted butterfly bush flowers. I dug them up a few months ago, but I didn't know how to grow them. There were 3 of them, but one died. I went to many places and found this kind of bamboo with reiki in the Sea of Bamboo in the south of Chuan province. I tried to bring it back and it worked. That's how I managed to grow 2 butterfly bush flowers." After calming down, Tofu gradually shows his talkative side. Lin Luoran doesn't mind his nagging. She quietly listens to him and thinks for a while before asking, "Can you find this kind of bamboo?" Tofu nods. He is happy. It seems that Master Lin not only wants butterfly bush flowers, but also the bamboo. His efforts are not in vain. Lin Luoran doesn't talk about the bamboo first. She asks, "What do you want for these 2 butterfly bush flowers?" Lin Luoran doesn't have a specific value for these spirit herbs. Last time she exchanged for elixirs, she just blindly thought about it. She can only wait for the price and see if she can accept it. However, Lin Luoran also knows that the butterfly bush flowers can only be sold to her. The formula of Foundation Lang bolus has been lost, and spirit herbs have been modified. Except for Huang Weijian's grandfather who disappeared mysteriously, Lin Luoran doesn't know who else needs these spirit herbs. Hearing Lin Luoran's question, the young man with the code name, Tofu, seems to be struggling. When Lin Luoran is wondering, Tofu suddenly kneels down and kowtows to her, which startles Lin Luoran. "I don't ask for anything. I just hope that you can take me as your registered disciple, clean the house, and light the fire." Take him as a disciple? Lin Luoran is confused. She doesn't want to take an apprentice, she is still a dabbler. Besides, she doesn't know anything about Tofu. How can she take him as her disciple? "Hey, are you going to force me to be your apprentice?" Lin Luoran holds back her anger and says kindly, "Get up first. I'm not prepared at all. How can I take you as my apprentice?" Tofu just buries his head on the ground. He keeps saying, "I'm being rude," but he doesn't get up. Lin Luoran almost loses her temper. "Why don't you get up?" However, people are visual creatures. Lin Luoran has a good first impression of Tofu. Seeing him like this, she thinks for a while and says, "Do you have any difficulties? Do you know what it means to be a registered disciple?" Tofu raises his head. "I know. I don't ask for your inheritance. I don't ask for elixirs or cultivation methods. I just want to get rid of the name of an individual cultivator." Lin Luoran sneers, "I'm an individual cultivator myself. If you want to ask for a title to bluff others, you'd better go to those big schools. I can't help you." No one would take someone as his apprentice for such a reason. If it weren't for the strict hierarchy in the world of cultivation, Lin Luoran would suspect that Tofu is here to make fun of her. "Master?" Tofu is anxious. He doesn't know how to explain. His forehead is sweating. When Lin Luoran is about to kick him out, Li Shi'er's voice comes from the door of the living room. "Sister, do you have a guest today?" Li Shi'er comes back with bags and passes by the living room. Lin Luoran guesses that Li has gone shopping again. Lin Luoran only nods to her because she wants to kick Li out. Li Shi'er is about to go back to her room, but she falls back. The bags in her hand fall to the ground. She points at Tofu in the living room and screams. Her scream wakes up the cyan little fox which is dozing off on the island in the backyard. It thinks that a strong enemy of Lin's family has come, so it rushes to the front yard. Wrapped in the golden feather, Goldie, who was still an egg after more than half a year of incubation, also moved inside the egg. A small crack appeared on the huge round shell. What a killer! Li Shi'er's scream is definitely a killer. Lin Luoran covers her ears and waits for Li Shi'er to stop screaming. Then she shouts, "What happened? Tell me." Li Shier's nose twitches and the corners of her eyes turn down again. This is a sign that she is going to cry. She keeps her fingers on Tofu and says pitifully, "Sister? He is Yuan Yi. He must be here to force me to marry him." Individual cultivator, the early stage of training qi, forced marriage. Lin Luoran can easily connect these keywords together. She sees the cyan little fox staring at the tofu on the ground. Oh, it should be called Yuan Yi. Mrs. Lin rushes over from the kitchen with a kitchen knife in her hand and asks in a panic, "What's wrong? What's wrong?" Lin forces a smile. "Mom, let me introduce him to you. This is Yuan Yi, Tiar's fiancé." Mrs. Lin almost drops the kitchen knife. Li Shier's fiancé? Mrs. Lin thinks to herself that this young man is quite spirited. She straightens her clothes and decides to go back to the kitchen to make some dishes. The cyan little fox walks back to the backyard gracefully. It runs back and rolls on the bamboos around the island. It's so fun staying in Lin's house, especially after the arrival of this human named Li Shi. There are dramas in Lin's house every day. Now that Li Shi has a fiancé, it will be even more lively. He lives not far from our gate. He has been pulling my hair since I was a kid. I hate him the most. I don't want to marry him. Li Shi sobs and tells her old grudges. Lin Luoran hands her a tissue. While listening, she notices the expression of Yuan Yi, who is sitting at the end of the table. Well, he is embarrassed and restless. Lin Luoran believes that this is not a forced marriage. Clearly, they are childhood sweethearts. But Yuan Ye's tricks are too lame. He even tried to attract Li Shier's attention by bullying her. When Li Shier finishes, Yuan Yi scratches his head and says, "Master Shi, I did propose to Master Shi, but I didn't force him to marry me." Lin Luoran raises her eyebrows. Did Shi Heng say yes? Yuan Yi nods. He is no longer nervous. Shi Heng values Li Shier very much. According to Li Shier, Shi Heng and Yuan Ye's dead master were good friends, so Shi Heng forced Li Shier marry Yuan Yi. Lin Luoran guesses that this is not the case. Shi Heng must think highly of Yuan Yi, so he gave Li Shier to Yuan Yi. One of them likes Li Shier and the other says yes. These two self-righteous men never ask for Li Shier's opinion. They poke a hornet's nest and the little girl is so angry that she runs away from home. Lin Luoran thinks for a while and says, "Do you really want to be my apprentice, Yuan Yi?" Yuan Yi is stunned and nods in surprise. Lin Luoran sneers, "Don't be too happy. If you don't have any spells or elixirs, you will be willing to be my apprentice if the marriage between you and Li Shier is cancelled." Li Shier stops crying. She stares at Lin Luoran with her watery eyes. Lin Luoran is so powerful that she can cancel the marriage? Yuan Yi looks at Li Shier. She is obviously happy. He feels bitter and kneels on the ground. "I will. Master, please accept my greetings." He is willing? Li Shier blinks her eyes. Happiness comes so suddenly that she forgets to smile. Lin Luoran smiles. There is something in her smile. What a smart young man. The pavilion closest to the water enjoys moonlight first. Lin Luoran doesn't care about Yuan Ye's thoughts. She wants to build a pharmaceutical factory and there is no one in the Lin family. Yuan Yi, the extra Yuan Yi, finally shows up. Chapter 253. Recently, Lin Luoran has been living a comfortable life. Yuan Yi is in charge of the construction of the pharmaceutical factory and she asks him to communicate with the other 3 families on her behalf. As for Lin Luoran, she goes to the Qingqing Mountains and chooses a call next to the Qingqing Taoist Temple to build a pharmaceutical base. The soil here is fertile and the basin between the mountains is huge. Because of the soil layer, there will be no hidden danger of a lot of water. It is the best place to plant a large number of medicinal materials. The only thing to worry about is flash floods. Therefore, at the beginning, she needs to build some drainage ditches. Apart from the space, when it comes to planting medicinal herbs, Cyan Little Fox may say it is the second best in the world of cultivation, but no one dares to say they are the first. This call is chosen by the fox after a tour. Although it is going to plant a large number of ordinary herbs instead of spirit herbs, Cyan Little Fox still bursts out of Lin Luoran's unimaginable enthusiasm. Lin Luoran watches the fox jumping in the forest. It stops to smell the soil in the call, which is still overgrown with weeds. Then it pulls up the grass to check the moisture of the soil layer. It is like a king who must inspect his vassal country before stopping to think. The fox's serious expression makes Lin Luoran feel that Zheng Tian's idea of building a pharmaceutical factory is really right. Cyan Little Fox is born to identify medicinal materials. The backyard of Lin's family is still too small. Maybe Cyan Little Fox is only really happy when it is busy like this. Lin Luoran looks at the large hills and is full of confidence. She has heard a saying before, be a good person when you are weak and do good things when you are in power. She is not a black-hearted pharmacist. In the future, the medicine produced by the pharmaceutical factory will definitely save many people. She believes it. Lin Luoran chooses the place and goes to the government to discuss the contract. The Qingqing Mountains are rich in vegetation. Nowadays, people advocate afforestation. Some leaders have scruples and don't dare to contract the mountains for logging. However, Lin Luoran uses it to plant medicinal materials, which makes some leaders think about it. Lin Luoran dares to get involved in the pharmaceutical industry on a large scale. Who would believe that she doesn't have some background? Lin Luoran chooses a few contiguous valleys, which cover a total of 400 or 500 acres. If she really wants to build a medicinal material planting base here, the main roads in the mountains are different. First of all, mechanical planting is ruled out. Then some local labor problem will be solved. Seeing the success of the base, the villagers will naturally follow. It is not impossible to revitalize the economy of a small area. All these are political achievements. Who doesn't want to be promoted? Even if someone were to promote him, he would still have to produce some results himself in order to enter the eyes of the big shots. This plan was completely feasible. The leaders already have a plan in mind, but they still have to pretend. Lin Luoran is a little tired of contacting them several times. But after all, she had been in society for several years and was not a noob who was ignorant of the ways of the world. Even if there were people in the court, sometimes the little devils were more difficult to deal with. She could not afford to offend these people. Otherwise, in the future, they would always cause her trouble and disturb her cultivation. Lin Luoran has never paid attention to people like him. She doesn't remember the conflict. Seeing Chao Liang's careful face, Lin Luoran finally remembers who he is. Zheng Tian said that everyone is useful. Sure enough, Chao Liang, a playboy with all kinds of poisons, takes over. At this critical moment, the considerate Zheng Tian sends Chao Liang to help her. Zheng Tian said that everyone has their own uses. Chao Liang, who used to be a playboy with all kinds of poisons, takes over the project. Soon, Lin Luoran has a breakthrough. Within a week, Chao Liang sends the contract that Lin Luoran has discussed for several times to Lin Luoran. After all, Lin Luoran is a woman. She doesn't know these low-level officials as well as Chao Liang does. After several sugar-coated bombs and bombardment of high-end baths, they all feel that Chao Liang is a good man. Chao Liang has gained some benefits. This is indeed beneficial to the local people. Let's do it. Even though they have been officials for a long time and they have all kinds of problems, many low-level officials are not so evil that they can't be cured. The Chinese are used to talking business at the table. Chao Liang knows when to put on airs and when to make a toast. Both the host and the guest are happy. Of course, the contract is signed quickly. Lin Luoran takes the contract and says, Chao is a good man, but he has a bad temper. Chao Liang holds back his joy and nods. I've changed, Master Lin. Lin Luoran doesn't point out the way he calls Chao Liang. Chao Liang follows Zheng Tian and calls Lin Luoran Master Lin. Lin Luoran, who is becoming more and more like an otaku, doesn't think about why Chao Liang is working so hard. Lin Luoran hasn't gone out for a long time and has been focusing on cultivation. She has never thought about the situation outside the state of Huaxia. Since the shocking scene on the Tianfu Square was filmed, many young cultivators in the world of cultivation become less cautious. That is to say, people often see cultivators riding on swords in the news. People finally know that these people are not immortals, but cultivators with great power. The cultivators in the state of Huaxia are called cultivators. It is no secret that there are such people in the state of Huaxia. Many ordinary people are thinking about how to learn immortal spells and seek immortality like those cultivators. Of course, immortality is impossible. Even if the information about the cultivation world is updated, the most powerful cultivator is only in the level of bearing essence. How can it be called immortality? Although a cultivator's single attack is powerful, the world of cultivation is declining nowadays. Cultivators in the level of bearing essence don't want to make a move easily. Nobody has the power to topple a country or overturn the sea like the Qi trainers in ancient times. With a missile, the defensive circle of each school in the state of Huaxia can't even defend itself. The Earth is heading towards a technological civilization. The declining world of cultivation can only serve as a deterrent. It has all kinds of privileges, but it can no longer decide the direction of civilization. Master Mu and the others signed the Treaty of Peaceful Coexistence between cultivators and ordinary people. The most important clause of the treaty is that cultivators are not allowed to kill innocent people. Otherwise, they will be punished by the whole world of cultivation. After such a treaty is submitted to the leaders through Chen Yun, many uneasy big shots show a satisfied expression. The state of Huaxia is developing, and the country needs stability. Cultivation has no national boundaries, but cultivators do. After all, they were born and raised on this piece of land. Can this special group help others? Not to mention the fact that the invasion of the state of Huaxia has only been a few years, and Master Gua, a cultivator who made great contributions at that time, is still alive. Besides, the special department has been around since the founding of the state of Huaxia. They have made a lot of contributions, so the top officials have a good impression of cultivators. Well, they are just a group of cultivators who are better than traditional martial arts but not immortals. They can still coexist peacefully and benefit each other. Firearms give confidence to those in power. In this delicate balance, people are gradually told about the existence of cultivators. Compared with the top officials, ordinary people are more concerned about whether they can learn the arts of immortals or not. There is an upsurge of cultivation among the people. Many people are eager to learn the arts of immortals. They often meet to exchange their experiences. However, no matter Master Mu or Shi Heng, they are willing to accept more apprentices and share the resources with limited resources. Only those who are particularly talented and have the Taoist root of two natures can have a chance to become an immortal one day by this lucky chance, which is hard to say whether it is a pie or a poppy. The gate of immortals is ethereal. Where can one knock on it? All these are the reasons why Chao Liang respects Lin Luoran so much. The video of what happened in Tianfu Square is circulating everywhere. Others can't recognize the swordsman in the funny shirt, but Chao Liang can't. The swordsman who fought the giant snake is his childhood friend, Zheng Tian. Also, Rong Donglin flashes in the video. Chao Liang can recognize Rong Donglin even if he is burned to ashes. He once suffered a great loss. Chao Liang didn't need to use his brain to figure out who the woman who saved them was. So, Zheng Tian's school uncle is a mysterious cultivator. This realization makes Chao Liang feel embarrassed in his dormitory for a long time. He is afraid that he will never be able to open his eyes again one morning because he has offended a cultivator. Zheng Tian sensed Lin Luoran's anxiety, so he sends Chao Liang here this time. Words are no proof. Chao Liang needs to get to know Lin Luoran in person. Lin Luoran is actually a good person. She won't care about the little conflict between them. After getting the contract, the woman walks around the mountain with a little cyan fox in her arms. When she is excited, she tells him what she is going to plant here and what she is going to plant on that hillside. It is hard for Chao Liang to associate her with the high and mighty cultivator in his imagination. However, it seems that she is a nice person. Chao Liang's worries are mostly gone. He decides to do a good job in this space. As a playboy, Chao Liang hasn't thought about whether he can become a cultivator one day. His idea is simple and his purpose is clear. Chapter 254. The construction of the pharmaceutical factory goes well. The medicinal herb base of the Lin family in the call has been cleared out and started to plant in 1 month. Some plants are transplanting, and some are sowing. Angelica and Poria cocos are common medicinal herbs. Ginseng, which can only be used as medicine after a few years, is also planted in the shallow forest on the hillside. There are paths in the forest. Lin Luoran thinks that it is better to pay more than to destroy the green water and mountains. Therefore, she plans to carry the medicinal herbs out of the base by manpower instead of building cement roads. The Zheng family is the leader in building houses. They send several engineering teams and soon many wooden huts are built around the base. Ginseng and other medicinal herbs are very precious, so the whole base must have its own guards. These things need to be built slowly. For now, they hire experienced hunters to guard the base. The wooden huts are dotted on the hillside. Looking down from the top, the flattened call has a wide view. As long as there are no blind spots, a few huts in each call are enough to help each other. After building the wooden huts, the engineering team starts to build the staff dormitory. Lin Luoran only has one requirement. The construction of the dormitory must not be rushed and the foundation must be solid. It is difficult to transport cement in. Lin Luoran thinks about it and decides to build a wooden building with 3 floors. Each room has its own bathroom, which is the size of a standard room in a hotel. In the future, there will be a single bunk bed like in the dormitory. In fact, 500 acres of land doesn't need many people. The initial employees are all local villagers. Lin Luoran heard that they provide food and accommodation. It is close to home. Is planting medicinal herbs more difficult than farming? Therefore, many people want to work here. Compared with planting crops step by step, in fact, medicinal herbs need more careful care. At least when sowing seeds, Lin Luoran has seen Cyan Little Fox watering different kinds of medicinal herbs. This is like a special talent of the little fox. The little fox is very good at it. However, Lin Luoran didn't take it out from the underground world to make it a coolie. The Cyan Little Fox will be exhausted if it has to water the 500 acres of land. They needed professionals. Professor Chi introduces her to several old friends of the agricultural university. They have both theory and practice on planting. Lin Luoran really wants to keep these old professors. However, she knows that she doesn't have enough influence. Therefore, she has to ask them to recommend some of their favorite students. It's boring to work in the mountains. Lin Luoran offers them a generous salary. They just graduated from the university and need to find a place to practice. There are always people who are willing to stay. Especially when Lin Luoran gives them some high-quality seeds, these young people suddenly feel that they have made the right decision to stay. Happy to see the prey, happy to see the prey. Why are all these poria seeds so big? The wolfberries were also plump and rosy. They had to be planted and observed properly. Lin Luoran sees them leaving happily with bags of seeds in their hands. She is happy to send the waste away. Since the space has expanded a lot, Lin Luoran didn't leave out the Chinese herbs she planted first. Unlike spirit herbs and spirit medicines, the harvest time for them is very short. Lin Luoran has collected many seeds that have evolved for many generations. She gives a few of them to the top students of Agricultural University, which is enough for them to study for a long time. Well, should I turn the whole base into optimized medicinal herbs? Forget it. It's better not to be too shocking. It's better to mix some seeds with them. Despite this thought, Lin Luoran still adds some spring water from the space to the newly dug well in the base. She hopes that the base will bear fruit soon. Yuan Yi, look at this mountain area. I'll leave it to you. They stand on the hillside, overlooking the mountain people who are busy farming, watering, or tidying up the grassland. Lin Luoran draws a circle to show that this area belongs to the base. Yes, Chao Liang does a good job. Compared with Lin Luoran, who only wants to rent some land at the beginning, Chao Liang gives Lin several mountains as a contract for the sugar-coated bathing and wine party. Lin Luoran never thought that she would own several mountains one day, even though the contract only stated that it would be a few decades. Lin Luoran looks down at the call and smiles. After a few decades, no one knows who she will hand over the base to. Anyway, she will not manage it. Yuan Yi pinches his thigh. He originally thought that Lin Luoran accepted him as an apprentice to do hard work. Yuan Yi is indeed a hard work, but he didn't expect that it will be to grow medicinal herbs. Yuan Yi likes all kinds of herbs and plants, as well as mountains and rivers. Otherwise, he wouldn't have traveled all over the mountains, found butterfly bush flower, and found bamboos with Reiki in the bamboo forest in the south of Chuan province. Of course, it needs luck, but it also needs hard work. After getting along with Yuan Yi for more than a month, Lin Luoran finds that this young man is very focused. He has a meticulous mind and excellent planning ability. Lin Luoran often feels that if he does science instead of cultivation, he may be more successful. However, what makes Lin Luoran worried is that Yuan Yi becomes a troublemaker when he sees Li Shi. He feels uncomfortable if he doesn't bully Li. Lin Luoran doesn't know whether she should laugh or cry at such a childish behavior. Is every genius retarded in some aspect? Well, is it true? Should she remind Yuan Yi to change his strategy? Lin Luoran's kindness only lasts for a few seconds. Forget it. The Li Shi leaves. No one will be willing to manage the base for her. Poor Yuan Yi. He needs more practice. Well, that's it. The cyan little fox is reluctant to go back, so Lin Luoran asks Yuan Yi to take care of it while she goes back to the city. Stepping on the thick leaves, Lin Luoran walks along the mountain road and climbs over a mountain. She can see the corner of the Qingqing Taoist temple hidden in the dense forest. Is the crazy Taoist still busy? Lin Luoran thinks for a while. She doesn't go around and check on them. The crazy Taoist is calcining a kind of ore powder. When he sees Lin Luoran, he moves his fingers slightly and the ore with flames disappears. Lin Luoran is curious and envious. The crazy Taoist laughs. This is called bolus fire. It can be used to make elixirs and medicines, but it is too difficult to make weapons. You will have it when you bear essence. Bolus fire? Lin Luoran nods secretly. Lu Jing comes out with a black ore in his hands. He is happy to see Lin Luoran. You are here. Well, what are you holding? Well, this is a dark stone. It is used to fertilize the soul wood. Is everything going well in the base? They are chatting casually. Lu Jing feels that the throbbing feeling he had 4 years ago is coming back. Unfortunately, Lin Luoran seems to be very slow and he doesn't know what to do. However, Lu Jing is not in a hurry. Confidence is one thing. Besides, the Lin family has built a medicine base near the Qingqing Taoist temple. They will have many opportunities to meet in the future. You have chosen a good place to plant herbs. Grandmaster said that it is a good place. The wood Reiki flowing out from the mine under the Qingqing Taoist temple all flows to that place. Lin Luoran is suddenly enlightened. No wonder Cyan Little Fox seems to have chosen that place after going around the whole Qingqing mountain. Is there a reason? With the nourishment of wood Reiki, it is hard for the herbs to not grow well, right? It is a pity that the wild weeds in the valley have taken advantage of them. In such an evening, in the ancient Qingqing Taoist temple, 2 young people are talking under a tall ancient tree. Their silhouettes are very beautiful. They always make people feel the beauty of the long time and the tranquility of time. The view in the mountain is very good. The crazy Taoist touches his greasy beard. His Taoist robe is blown up by the night wind. He slowly walks out of the yard. What a pig-like apprentice. Anyone can have a secret love? Well, you are going to suffer a lot. In the same mountain, because of autumn, the famous red leaves of Fragrant Mountain have begun to change color. More and more tourists come to see the scenery. From the back of the mountain, the well-maintained Fragrant Mountain Villa is as new as it used to be. However, the 3rd master of the Mu family is sleeping like a dead pig on such a nice day. Most of the girls who used to wear maid clothes have married and become mothers of their children. Because there are no new maids, the villa seems empty. The children of the Mu family were very promising. They were in every corner of the world, taking care of their own responsibilities. The only one who loved to stay in the villa all day long was 3rd young Master Mu, who had been the role model for the past few years. The door of the bedroom is pushed open. Grandpa Mu looks at the 3rd Master Mu, who is sleeping like a dead pig, and waves his hand. 2 men who look like stewards carry the dead pig up. Mu Tianen opens his eyes in a daze. Grandpa, you are here. It's still early. Let me sleep a little longer. It is not hot, but the stewards are sweating. They are so worried. The 3rd master can't tell day from night. It is dark now. It is almost 6 o'clock in the evening, but he is still sleeping. Drag him out and wake him up. The stewards don't have time to wipe their sweat. They drag the paralyzed Mu Tianen out. Soon there is a sound of water splashing in the garden, and then there is a scream. When Mu Tianen is pulled out of the music fountain, he is already sleepy. The way Grandpa Mu wakes people up is always so special and unforgettable. You unfilial son. Isn't it just because you can't cultivate? Look at you, it's as if your parents have died. Will you only be satisfied when this old man dies with you? Grandpa Mu is angry. Looking at Mu Tiannan's unshaven face, he feels that the wacken in his body is running amok. It is easy for him to be possessed by the devil. Mu Tiannan is listless. Everyone can cultivate, but I can't. It is meaningless. Grandpa Mu is so angry. Everyone can cultivate, and the Taoist root is not a cabbage. What is this brat talking about? He thinks for a while, picks up the file bag in the steward's hand, throws it on Mu Tianen, and turns around to leave. Mu Tianen is confused. Hey Grandpa, what is this? We also have shares in Lin's pharmaceutical factory. It is up to you whether you want to go to the center of Chuan or not. Grandpa Mu leaves angrily, unwilling to look at Mu Tian. However, facing his favorite grandson since he was a child, Grandpa Mu's heart softens. He adds, in the first 30 years, you also had no Taoist root and couldn't cultivate, but you still lived a wonderful life, didn't you? Don't use old ideas to deal with young people's affairs. What if the difference between immortals and mortals is not a big deal in the eyes of others? Although Grandpa Mu knows that the possibility is very low, he still hopes that Mu Tianan will either succeed or give up completely. Mu Tianan is wet all over. Sitting on the ground, he suddenly laughs. He grabs the file bag, shakes the water off his hands, and squats in the yard to read it. Chapter 255. The adults are busy with the medicine base. Even Mr. Lin, who used to be a mountain walker, is very interested in the base. He often goes to the base to have a look. Luodong is so busy that he inevitably neglects the young one at home. Luodong feels that he has finally melted the iceberg named Huang Weijian. Because Huang takes the initiative to hitch a ride, the back seat of Luodong's bicycle, every day after school. Under the pressure of being laughed at by Fatty Ma Ming, Huang is very loyal to his job. He says that there are many tourists in the folk street and there is a lot of garbage there. He will never go back empty-handed. In fact, Huang is right. Huang does get a lot of things every day. Luodong doesn't doubt this reason and accepts it. After a month, even the shopkeepers of the folk street know this boy who is dressed in a famous middle school uniform but picks up garbage every day. The monster in Huang's imagination still doesn't show up. Every night before he goes to bed, the boy is thinking about whether he should continue tomorrow or not. Is it possible that he is wrong? No way. Grandpa said that the bald pen is most sensitive to monster Reiki. It can't be wrong, right? Is it because his cultivation is too low that it affects the bald pen's judgment? The youth tossed and turned in bed between such affirmation and self-denial. No matter how precocious he was still a 13-year-old youth. He did not have a clear understanding of his own ability, and he did not understand the origin of the bald old pen. Huang doesn't tell Luodong's family that there might be a monster in the school. He just tries his best to protect Luodong on his way home. Tomorrow he will go to every corner of the school. Maybe the bald pen is too old to work. Huang makes up his mind and finally falls asleep before 12 o'clock. The next morning, he gets up early and checks the classrooms, the playground, and the dormitory while there are still few students. Still, he finds nothing. When Luodong enters the classroom, he sees Huang sitting in his seat. He seems to be upset. Upset? Luodong thinks that he is wrong. Even icebergs have expressions. Huang Weijian, you are so early today. None of your classmates are here yet. Even if he comes early, there is still half an hour before the class starts. The classroom is still empty. Why does Huang Weijian get up so early? Luodong's casual words enlighten Huang Weijian. Classmate? How could he forget that the monster might be hiding among the students? It could be someone from another class, another grade, or even a staff member of the school. Huang Weijian was not in a hurry now that he had found a breakthrough. He planned to look for her during the break when the school was overcrowded. Luo Dong knows Huang's personality. He doesn't expect Huang to answer him. He is used to answering his own questions. Is it because you haven't finished your homework? The young man's eyes, hidden under his bangs, twitched. He comforted himself, I'm magnanimous and won't bother with him. Half an hour is a short time. A new day of study begins soon after the bell rings. Luo Dong is thinking about the difficult parts of the lesson and forgets about Huang's abnormal behavior today. However, Huang is indeed abnormal today. Why does he run out of the classroom after every class? Luo Dong decides to take care of his friend when he comes back. He wants to see if he has a stomachache. It's not right for him to go to the bathroom all the time. However, before Luo Dong has time to take care of his friend, he sees the head teacher waving at him. Luo Dong, come with me. The Lins always respect their teacher. Luo Dong always listens to Rong. Hearing the head teacher calling him, Luo Dong stands up quickly and follows the head teacher to the office. Huang Weijian, who is suffering from diarrhea, comes back to class on the bell. His desk is empty. He is not familiar with his classmates, so he has no one to ask. His old rival Ma Ming, who is sitting 2 seats away from him, sneers. Luo Dong was caught by the teacher. He deserves it. Called by the teacher? Huang is relieved. Luo Dong is the model of a good student in the class. He is enthusiastic to his classmates, respectful to the teacher, and good at studying. Huang can't think of any teacher who would deliberately make things difficult for Luo Dong. Ma Ming makes a face at the back of Huang Weijian. Coincidentally, he is caught by the teacher on the podium. The teacher asks the little fatty to stand up and answer the question. Ma Ming mumbles for a long time, but he can't answer the question. All the students in the class laugh. The fat boy's face is shaking with anger. He feels humiliated because of Huang and Luo Dong, who used to bully him. He sits down and secretly texts his former followers. You guys skip class and ambush me at the school gate this afternoon. After a while, the other side asks, ambush who? How many people do you want to bring? Ma Ming is furious. Who the hell do you want to bring? They are not gangsters. Thinking that they are going to deal with 2 people, he replies angrily, bring more people. We'll talk when they come. Receiving a positive answer, the fat boy puts away his phone with satisfaction. He smirks at Huang's back and buries his head on the desk. He has an appointment with Mr. Zhou. It's better to be early. When Luo Dong comes back, the class is almost over. As soon as Luo Dong sits down, Huang frowns. The bald pen, which has been silent for a month, trembles slightly as if it is reuniting with a family member. Monster Reiki. Luo Dong is stained with Monster Reiki. Who did you see just now? Huang Weijian lowered his voice. What? Is Huang concerned about me? Luo Dong also lowers his voice and tells Huang what happened. It turns out that a European financial group donated a library to a famous school in the R city and is planning to have an exchange program. The school is also a famous school in the UK. The head teacher wants to recommend Luo Dong, who is the best in all aspects of the class. That's why Luo Dong was called to the principal's office. He asked about Luo Dong's opinion and showed it to the person in charge. That's why Luo Dong came back so late. Exchange student? Huang feels that he has grasped something important. He asks, just you? Luo Dong shakes his head. There are more than a dozen people. I heard that they must be good at English. I'm not good at English. I don't want to go. Huang nods. Luo Dong doesn't like English very much. He always finishes his homework. However, after one trip, the bald pen is moved by the monster Reiki. Is this a monster that Huang can deal with? Ask your sister to pick you up today. I have something to talk to her. Huang thinks for a while and decides not to tell Luo Dong about the monster in the school. Luo Dong is an ordinary person. Telling him about the monster will only make him scared. It won't help much. Luo Dong thinks that it is true, so he sends a message to Lin Luoran after class. Then he puts the matter aside. My sister said that she is still in the mountains. She will arrive in half an hour. Why don't you tell me and I'll go back and ask her? Luo Dong pushes his bicycle and stands on the sidewalk beside the school gate with Huang. The parasol trees are peeling and the sanitation workers are cleaning. Luo Dong suggests to Huang. However, the boy is looking at the crowded school gate vigilantly. He doesn't hear Luo Dong's suggestion. Is it because of his pride that he doesn't want to tell me? Luo Dong mistakenly thinks that the boy's silence means that he doesn't agree. He doesn't ask further and waits patiently with Huang. The sun is shining brightly. Students rush out of the school. The crowded school gate is now empty after 10 minutes. Lin Luoran hasn't come yet. Huang doesn't see the monster either. Fatty Ma Ming, who was ambushing in the other alley, was already impatient. What is wrong with them today? Why are they guarding the school gate? There is a snack shop in the alley. Ma Ming has finished 3 servings of potatoes and a dozen skewers of mutton. Luo Dong and Huang still haven't come. The chili noodles of this snack shop are delicious. One of the followers feels his tongue numb. He says in a low voice while panting, "Boss, there are not many people at the school gate. Let's rush out and fight." "Ah, boss, why are you hitting me?" The little follower hugs his head and shrinks on a small stool. Ma Ming is holding a plate of wolf's teeth land in the snack bar. He knocks the little follower several times, and the flesh on his fat face shakes. "Fight at the school gate? Are you trying to get me expelled? Motherfucker, do you think this stupid selective school is cheap? My old man has paid so much money, and it's all for the sake of digging my blood. Now you want me to get expelled for nothing and waste my future inheritance? Charging up to fight? Was that still considered an ambush? These idiots." Ma Ming stuffs a potato into his mouth and feels superior in terms of IQ. What is his father's is his own. Ma Ming does a good job. The owner of the snack shop laughs. All middle school students have fought before. They run a small shop. They don't need to be nosy. The teenagers who just entered middle school are all shocked by Ma Ming. The boss is indeed the boss. He keeps flattering Ma Ming and stuffs potatoes and mutton skewers into his mouth. Let's wait. A black Lincoln stops. The door is pushed open. A handsome blonde guy walks towards the 2 teenagers with a serious face. The bald pen is buzzing. Huang Weijian presses his canvas bag so hard that his knuckles turn white. How dare they fight in broad daylight? You are Luo Dong, right? The handsome guy looks familiar. Is he from the European delegation that he saw outside the principal's office today? Luo Dong nods subconsciously. I said I won't go to the exchange program. Why are you looking for me? The handsome guy smiles. Our lady said that you might be willing to talk. Let's talk in the car. This time, Luo Dong realizes that the guy is speaking in Chinese fluently. What lady? Luo Dong is alarmed. Sorry, let's talk in school tomorrow. I have to go home. He pulls Huang Weijian to leave. Luo Dong is sweating. He feels that his feet are being watched. He has a feeling that the bald pen is going to break out of the bag and attack the car. This is interesting. Let's take both of them. A female voice comes from the car. It is in Chinese. Huang Weijian doesn't even have time to attack. He is led to the car by the voice. Huang Weijian, come back. It's dangerous. Luo Dong yells. The handsome guy smiles. It won't be dangerous if you go with me. He takes out a folded silk handkerchief from the pocket of his suit and shakes it in front of Luo Dong. Luo Dong's armor has no reaction to the drug. Luo Dong passes out soon. Let's go. The car door is closed. The Lincoln moves into the traffic. Ma Ming and the others are stunned. One of the followers says, "Boss, someone is robbing us." The fat on Ma Ming's face is shaking. Robbing? That's kidnapping. In a panic, he sneaks a few glances at the Lincoln passing by. The window is half rolled down. He sees a woman with wavy chestnut hair and a high nose. It's her? A foreign woman? Witnessing a kidnapping, which is like a movie, makes them excited. They don't know what to do. The fat guy calms down quickly. Boss, 3 more potatoes. The follower's mouth is dry. Boss, aren't we leaving? Ma Ming's eyes are shining. Damn you. Did you write down the license plate number? Chapter 256. On the way, Lin Luoran has a strange feeling. How should she put it? Her eyelids will keep twitching before something bad happens. Her eyelids are twitching. However, the traffic on the first ring road of the R city is not smooth. It's hard for Lin Luoran to speed up. The closer she gets to Luodong's school, the stronger the feeling becomes. Lin Luoran steps on the brake and stops the car in front of the school gate. The two kids don't wait for her at the school gate as promised. Lin Luoran calls Luodong, but his phone is turned off. Lin Luoran calls her mother, but she doesn't go back either. Strange. Lin Luoran opens the door and gets out of the car. It's still the path of the parasol tree. The fallen leaves have been swept away. The smell of people and the foul air of the city has left almost nothing behind. No, if she smells it carefully, there is a faint smell that makes her extremely uncomfortable. What is it? Since she started her cultivation, she has met many people. She has smelled a disgusting smell from the dead Zhou Yaowei. She smelled it in the Blood Pool underground palace. As for Xian Yuanping, her personal ability is high, so she doesn't feel it often. Come to think of it, if her memory rewound, she had smelled it on those vampires. The night of Bermuda has passed for a long time. Vampires haven't appeared in Lin Luoran's life for a long time. It takes her a while to remember that the disgusting smell is the same as the smell on the vampires. The bloodline? Did something happen to Luodong and Huang Weijian? Lin Luoran finally knows why her eyelids are twitching. No matter what happened to the two kids, she didn't even know that the bloodline had reached the city. Excuse me. A short and fat boy approaches Lin Luoran. Lin Luoran tilts her head and sees the fat boy who is smiling so hard that his eyes can't be seen. Because of Fatty Chui, Lin Luoran doesn't have a bad impression of this kind of guy. She recognizes him immediately. Luodong's former classmate? Lin Luoran saw them fighting in the 6th grade. Lin Luoran restrains her worry. Oh, I remember you. Luodong's former classmate. Your name is Ma Ming, right? Hearing his name being called out by the celebrity sister, the little fatty was so excited that his face turned red. Yes. Can I call you sister? I'm in the same class with Luodong. We're good friends. Oh, Sister Lin, I saw Luodong and another classmate being kidnapped. He must have been kidnapped by the bloodline. Lin Luoran secretly adds. She still asks anxiously, did you see who kidnapped him? Ma Ming nodded fiercely. It's a foreign woman. That woman even came to our school. On the first day of school, the principal accompanied her. A female vampire. Everything matches. Lin Luoran squints, revealing a dangerous aura. Lin Luoran's bottom line is to hurt her family. Seeing the change in his celebrity sister's expression, the little fatty took out a piece of paper as if presenting a treasure. It was the price list of a cheap snack bar, with crooked letters and numbers written on it. Sister Lin, I copied the license plate number. Please go and save Luodong. I'm worried about him. Chongqing CXXXX? Lin Luoran takes the paper and says, thank you. Come to my house when you're free. The little fatty was waiting for this sentence. He nodded and said anxiously, Sister, please go and save Luodong first. Lin Luoran started the car and spread out her spiritual mind. When Lin Luoran's car was far away, Ma Ming's followers came out of the snack bar and said, Boss, we're not here to beat Luodong. Why did you save him? The little fatty said with a straight face, do you know what kind of people get kidnapped? The little follower shook his head. Another follower asked carefully, rich people? Ma Ming shook his head and said, rich and powerful people? Since Luodong is not poor, we can try to make him join us. We can beat him, but the bad guys can't bully him. These words are very insightful for a 13 or 14-year-old boy. His followers are better at flattering him than some adults. Their flattering words are eye-opening to the owner of the snack bar. Ma Ming is almost dizzy with the flattery of the boss, who is the most loyal and so on. The little fatty laughed heartily. If I don't infiltrate these two stinky brats, how can I show my loyalty? You must be saved. The smell of people, the smell of fermented garbage, the smell of stray cats and dogs, the gas from burning gasoline, and the turbid air between heaven and earth. If Lin Luoran didn't search for the smell of the bloodline, she wouldn't know that the smell in the city could drive people crazy with the bead as an air purifier. Minister Chen, can you give me an explanation? Why didn't I get any news that the bloodline has arrived in the R city? Lin Luoran didn't find the car either. She didn't know that she drove the wrong way, let alone the smell of the bloodline. Lin Luoran's tone of voice was not very good because she got nothing. According to the usual practice, as long as alien cultivators came to China through the normal way, local cultivators should have been informed by the special department. Alien cultivators must have different intentions. On one hand, they should be on guard. On the other hand, they could help the country to keep an eye on aliens. This was supposed to be a win-win situation. However, Lin Luoran didn't get any notice this time. She was caught unprepared. Chen Yun sounded surprised. The bloodline entered China? I didn't get any report at all. Fellow Taoist Lin, could they have entered through illegal means? Lin Luoran simply hung up the phone. Entered China illegally? Which stowaway dared to visit a famous school in public? Lin Luoran didn't want to listen to Chen Yun's official talk anymore. She trusted her allies more than the special department. The official force, countless surveillance cameras, and the so-called Skynet must be feasible. In case Commander Qin was worried, Lin Luoran went to Lu Sanchun directly. Lu Sanchun hasn't finished his wedding leave yet. After hearing Lin Luoran's statement, he puts on his coat and is ready to go out. Hearing that he is going out, his new wife comes out of the kitchen. Hey, where are you going? Didn't you say you would make dumplings with me? Something happened to the Lin family. I have to help. Hearing that it was the Lin family, Mrs. Lu stops and smiles, then go and come back early. Lu Sanchun has already rushed out of the door and is contacting acquaintances. Mrs. Lu leans against the door of the kitchen and stares blankly for a while. When the water in the pot is boiling, she remembers to turn off the fire. Lin Luoran's wedding gift, a necklace made of pearls from the Dragon Palace. The necklace is made of pearls and is supplemented by emeralds. There are red coral brooches, emerald earrings, and bracelets. Last time, she was joked that she married a poor officer's bestie. She married a middle-aged fat boss who is also a spendthrift. However, this set of jewelry makes her speechless. Thinking of this, Mrs. Lu feels relieved. The car disappeared in the western suburbs. It was captured by the last camera. There was no exit in the middle and it was surrounded by streets. However, the next camera didn't show any trace of the car. As for the license plate number you provided, we have verified that it is a fake license plate and we can't find the owner. It is the first time that a Lincoln is used to commit a crime in our country. The technician points to the video and explains to Lin Luoran. The places where the black Lincoln had appeared were all edited together. Counting from the school gate, it passed by Folk Street, which was not far from the Lin family, and finally drove to the western suburbs, until it disappeared from the street in broad daylight. That's right, this Lincoln disappeared in broad daylight. The picture of it passing by the Folk Street makes Lin Luoran feel like a naked provocation, which makes her sneer. Brother Lu, thank you for the trouble tonight. I will treat you to dinner after I finish my work. Lin Luoran remembers the road in the video and stands up. Lu Sanchun says seriously, do you want me to take some people to go with you? Lin Luoran shakes her head. Ordinary soldiers are no match for the bloodline. Seeing Lin Luoran walking out, the technician wonders, Brother Lu, your friend didn't call the police? Lu Sanchun laughs, I already did. Don't worry. Thank you so much for tonight. Lin Luoran walks out of the traffic police station. Li Shi-er has been waiting for her at the door. Besides her, Yuan Yi and another young cultivator whom she doesn't know are also there. Sister, how is it going? Lin Luoran hesitates. Who is this? I am Xiao Xiaomu, a member of the special department in the R City. I am here to support Master Lin under the order of Minister Qin. The young man is still childish. He looks like the group of young cultivators who went to the secret land with Lin Luoran. They have never been touched by blood. It is the first time for Lin Luoran to meet the clerk of the special department in the R City. He is too young. Lin Luoran is dissatisfied with Chen Yun, but she doesn't want to hurt the young man's confidence. She asks the three of them to get in the car together. Lin Luoran hasn't seen Li Shi-er for a long time. She seems to be about to break through the middle stage of training Qi and enter the late stage. Yuan Yi and Xiao Xiaomu's cultivation is not high. Lin Luoran doesn't know how their combat ability is. The atmosphere is not relaxed, and the atmosphere in the car is very low. It is the first time for Xiao Xiaomu to see the legendary Master Lin in the world of cultivation. It is said that Master Lin's brother was kidnapped by the bloodline. Xiao Xiaomu doesn't know how he is now. Li Shi can't help crying when she thinks about what Lin Luodong has been through. Under such circumstances, Yuan Yi will not bully her. He is not afraid of fighting with the bloodline at all. He came to the school with his skills. If he wants to be recognized, he has to work harder. Soon, the car arrives at the western suburbs. There is an ICBC on the street. Lin Luoran remembers clearly that the Lincoln disappeared in this section of the street. She stops the car by the roadside and the four of them get out. It is 9:30 in the evening. The western suburbs are not prosperous and this is just a small town. The dim streetlights are already on. There are not many pedestrians on this street. Lin Luodong and the others get off school at 4:20. Plus the time they spend waiting for her at the school gate, the two kids have been missing for at least 5 hours. Lin Luoran is anxious when she thinks about what might have happened to them. There is nothing unusual on this street. How can the car disappear? It is easy to create a mini-world, but that is the method of cultivators. The bloodline is a foreign race with strong physical bodies. If they could also cast spells, Huaxia cultivators would not have been able to suppress them for so many years. What had happened in the middle of all this? Yuan Yi is meticulous. He looks around the street and the shops that are still open. His eyes fall on a little girl who is selling flowers at the corner. She is wearing a thin coat and red leather shoes. She is shivering in the night wind. The crowd has thinned. Why is she still waiting here? She only has one rose in her hand. Why doesn't she go home? Master Lin Luoran looks at the direction where Yuan Yi is pointing. She immediately finds the abnormality that Yuan Yi has noticed. Little girl, why don't you go home? Lin Luoran bends down and asks. Lin Luoran seems to be smiling. In fact, she is afraid that this harmless little girl is a well-hidden bloodline and will suddenly become violent. However, when the flower girl sees Lin Lun, her eyes shine. Excuse me, are you Sister Lin? Lin Luoran nods. A sister asked me to give this flower to you. I have been waiting for you for a long time, but you didn't come. I was about to go home. The little girl raises the rose in her hand. It is beautifully wrapped. Under the street lights, the trembling dewdrops on the petals can be seen. This rose is very bright. It seems that it has just left the branch. There was a large red invitation letter with a butterfly knot on it. The relief of an ancient castle gave off a gorgeous yet gloomy feeling. To my most distinguished guest, please come to the Blood Clan's masquerade ball at midnight with this rose of love in your hand. It is your crystal. Crystal, it is her. Lin Luoran thinks of the pale bloodline woman who always looks at her with a strange smile. Lin Luoran draws a line on the invitation with her fingertips. Rose of love? Did Crystal come all the way to our city from Europe just to ask her for a dance? It's a small chapter. 3,700 plus. Second chapter. Please accept it. Chapter 257. At 11:48 p.m., people in the town have gradually fallen asleep. Lin Luoran is standing in front of an abandoned old building of the textile school. She doesn't look gentle. The rusty door, the original color of the ceramic tile walls, and the vines crawling all over the trees, the abandoned building gave off the smell of decay from the inside out. Only the roof, which was either pointed or round, was covered with colorful porcelain, which showed that it was deliberately designed in the European style many years ago. Is this the reason why vampires choose to live here? Lin Luoran arrives at 11 o'clock, which means that she has been standing at the door for more than 40 minutes. She is holding the disgusting rose of love and wearing a cheap pearl and emerald feather mask, which she bought from a small shop on the street. Her eyes are exposed and most of her face is covered by the mask. She is wearing a new dress of this season from a famous brand. Li Shi forced her to put it in the space a month ago. The gold strapless dress with complicated hemlines makes Lin Luoran look like a golden mermaid. She also feels cumbersome. Lin Luoran has to play with them. She looks down at her watch. There are 5 minutes left. On the other side of the road, Three young people are looking at Lin Luoran from the window. Li Shi, who has known Lin Luoran for a long time, Lin Luoran's new apprentice, and Xiao Xiaomu, who came to help Lin Luoran today, all of them can feel the pressure from Lin Luoran. The three of them don't have invitations. It seems that they have come for nothing. The minute hand overlaps with the hour hand, and then the second hand. When the three hands of the watch of different lengths overlap, a solemn bell rings on the roof of the old building. It's 12 o'clock. It's like the sleeping castle suddenly wakes up in the night. The mist is everywhere, and the lights in the old building area are gradually lit up. Music comes from afar. The iron gate of the old school is opened from the inside. A red carpet is laid out. In the melodious music, girls in medieval dresses come out one after another. If it weren't for their pale cheeks and the unique smell of the bloodline, Lin Luoran wouldn't be able to recognize them. Lin Luoran really thinks that what she is seeing is just a scene of a European medieval dinner in a movie. While she was hesitating, a young girl lifted her skirt and bowed in greeting. "Distinguished guest, please follow me." The grammar was very archaic. Was it old-fashioned English? The girl bowed. Through the low-cut dress, her smooth collarbone and white neck could be seen. Her waist is slender. Her blonde hair is curled up, and she wears a pink silk bow on her head. The hollow mask can just cover her eyes. She reminds Lin of Princess Sissy in the movies. She is beautiful and playful. She is a standard European palace beauty in the Middle Ages. Even the girl who welcomed them was so beautiful. Vampires were indeed a race that cared about appearance. Lin Luoran smiles and follows her without hesitation. Li Shi, and the other two girls also want to go in, but the rest of the girls of the bloodline giggles. They push and shove, and the door is closed. Only their laughter and the corner of their skirts can be seen in the light. Li Shi stomps her feet angrily. "Why didn't you try harder? You could have rushed in." Yuan Yi looks at the sky and Xiao Xiaomu hurriedly follows. They are all young people who cultivate in the deep mountains. Unlike their peers in the city, they may have already reached the realm of no limit in their hearts. How dare they push the soft breasts that are particularly eye-catching because of the dress? However, Yuan Yi can't ignore Li Shiyer's temper. Yuan Yi smiles and says, "Call me brother and I will find another way to get in." Li Shiyer sneers. "According to seniority, you are my nephew now." The carpet under their feet is very soft. The fluff is at least an inch deep. Stepping on it is like stepping on a cloud. The dress is clean when it passes through the carpet. British-made cashmere carpets are not cheap in the state of Huaxia nowadays. As far as the eye could see, the entire building area was covered with a long carpet. Including the violinist, the cocktail waiters, and the well-dressed and masked people who were chatting under the trees and by the swimming pool, there were no less than 100 people in this masquerade ball. Over 100 vampires. Lin Luoran feels that the situation is not very optimistic. Naturally, the building area had completely changed. The simple places that could not be changed were all covered with precious flowers and trees. The places that could be changed, such as the leaves, were so clean that they even emitted the fragrance of grass and trees. There were hazy and dreamy colored lights, ribbons, buffet food on the long table, and bright candlesticks. If it were not for the exquisite pastries on the long table that exuded a faint smell of blood, one would not be able to tell that this was the territory of the blood tribe. "Hey, why are there human beings here? What a fresh face. Are they new blood slaves?" A drunk young man of the bloodline is trying to touch Lin Luoran's exposed arm with his pale and slender hands. Lin Luoran doesn't know where the mask on his face is and the bow tie on his tuxedo is untied. Before Lin Luoran can twist his hands, the girl who brought her here has poured the red wine in the young man's hand on his face. The red wine drips down from the young man's face to his exquisite neckline. The young man finally sobers up a little. His handsome face is a little twisted. Lin Luoran seems to see a small flame on his head. However, the girl's words are more effective than the red wine. She puts out the flame immediately. "Andy, this is Miss Crystal's guest." The young man of the bloodline apologizes. Lin Luoran walks past him and doesn't even bother to look at him. This is just a low-rank bloodline. Even people of Yuan Yi and Xiao Xiaomu's personal ability can deal with it. Lin Luoran panicked just now. However, after a closer look, she finds that the vampires in the yard are not powerful, which gives Lin Luoran confidence. After the girl takes Lin Luoran away, another man of the bloodline laughs in a low voice. Andy, you are so bold. You dare to mess with a cultivator who is definitely one of the top 5 cultivators in the state of Huaxia. Andy's pale face turns even paler. Is she the one that Miss Crystal chose? The man of the bloodline laughs. Cheers to the moonlight of the state of Huaxia tonight. Andy's glass has been splashed with his own wine. He can't drink. Lin Luoran hears their conversation clearly. Does this man of the bloodline not know that she has good hearing, or does he not care about what she says? If the latter was the case, then it would not be a happy fact. What is Crystal's choice? Lin Luoran hates these ambiguous words when she thinks that the man of the bloodline is a woman of the same sex. The tallest old building is brightly lit. 2 silhouettes are reflected on the wall, which is infinitely beautiful. The young man with brown curly hair is not wearing a mask. He is very good-looking. However, the baby fat on his cheeks adds some childishness to his handsomeness. He is more like a tall boy with a Shota face than a young man. The boy is looking around when Lin shows up at the corner. He looks at Lin for a while and says seriously, Crystal, I have to say that your taste has been deteriorating in recent years. How can an Asian girl who looks like a bean sprout be more attractive than European beauties with slender waists and huge breasts? The boy's words ruin the cuteness of the boy. It's a pity that Lin feels so sad. Crystal stares at Lin Luoran without blinking. She is the most accurate person I have ever seen in my life. Roddick, my dear brother, I hope you won't take her away from me. Otherwise, I won't care about our brotherhood. Being called brother by the beautiful Crystal reveals the age of the Shota face. He teases, your whole life? Little sister, have you forgotten that you've lived for 480 years in this lifetime? The two of them argue. Crystal puts the bat in front of the window. The bat, which Crystal loves very much, opens its half-closed eyes and looks at Lin's right hand through the high window. The bead is hanging quietly on Lin Luoran's right hand. The bat's eyes are red. Lin Luoran suddenly feels that someone is staring at her maliciously. Chapter 258. That damn bat. It's not an ordinary bat. The fire phoenix screams in the space. Lin Luoran nods, yes. Aren't you worried? What it could sense was definitely not something simple. The bat couldn't sense it because there was a spatial barrier. Speaking of which, he should be in existence from the same era as it, so how could he still be alive today? Lin Luoran admits honestly, I am worried. Don't worry. Fire Phoenix is furious. It ignores Lin Luoran and cuts off contact with her. Of course he's worried. He's worried that Crystal, the psycho, is here with bad intentions. He's worried that she might hurt the kids. Honorable guest, if you go upstairs, you will see my master. The vampire girl brought her downstairs, but she didn't go any further. Instead, she gathered her skirt and retreated. The old wooden stairs creak when Lin steps on them. Is this the former library of the textile college? The building was very tall. She walked all the way to the 8th floor before she saw a door that was unlatched. Dim yellow light shone from inside. She stepped forward and pushed the door open. Crystal is still the same. Her hair is shinier and her cheeks are a little rosy. She is in high spirits. However, Lin Luoran does not pay attention to the vampire's appearance. 4 years ago, the vampire might not be able to defeat Wen Guanjing without the help of the ring. Looking at her now, Lin Luoran can feel the raging smell of blood. The vampire is powerful. Her level of cultivation is the same as Lin Luoran's. In fact, the vampire is even more powerful. If he relies on the space, what does Crystal rely on? Could it be the bat that Fire Phoenix is afraid of? Lin Luoran thinks about all these thoughts. Then she looks at the other man of the bloodline. Dana has slightly curly chestnut-colored hair and a high nose. Lin Luoran is surprised. The vampire family is not like the family of human beings. Who is this vampire? Crystal smiles. As Lin's personal ability improves, her blood is full of Reiki. Riddick can't help but want to kiss her. "Oh, my lady, you are definitely the most beautiful Oriental woman I have ever seen." Lin Luoran looks down and ignores him. Crystal giggles, "This is my brother. You can call him Riddick. Of course, you Chinese may be more used to the name Riddick." "Where is he?" Crystal shrugs, "The moonlight is so beautiful. Let's not talk about such boring things. I brought the red wine from the UK. Won't you come and have a drink?" Crystal points to a long dining table behind her. The table is covered with a gorgeous lace tablecloth, brass candlesticks, silver tableware, and goblets glittering like crystals in the candlelight. A rose bouquet with dew on it is placed in the middle of the table. The one missing is the same as the one Lin Luoran held earlier. Riddick pulls out a chair for Lin Luoran like a gentleman even though he has been snubbed. What the hell were these two siblings up to? It seems that if she doesn't drink with them, they won't talk about Luo Dong and Huang Weijian. Lin Luoran was going to force them, but the bat is here. Lin Luoran has to do as the host says, so she sits down casually. "Are you going to treat me to some dessert made with human blood?" "I'm sorry, but I don't like it." Crystal smiles brightly, "Of course not. Apart from blood, the only thing we can drink is wine. Of course, we will treat you to a drink." She claps her hands and the door opens silently. A Chinese woman comes in with a wine cabinet. There are delicate desserts and steaks on the cabinet. Lin Luoran looks at the food. The food is not mixed with blood. The Chinese woman who is pushing the cart is also a human, not a member of the bloodline. She is so docile that Lin Luoran finds her familiar. Seeing that the woman is pouring wine, Lin Luoran suddenly remembers that this woman was in a very popular TV series a few years ago. She played the role of a good wife and mother. Baojia laughed at her for being so similar to Lin Luoran. Why is she here? Lin Luoran remembers that this star used to be popular. How did she end up being a servant of the bloodline? Lin Luoran stays calm. It's not the time for her to explode. Crystal seems to know what she is thinking. "You think we forced her to do this, don't you?" Lin Luoran doesn't answer, which makes the star panic. "Master didn't force me. Master, please don't drive me away." Lin Luoran swirls the wine in her glass and takes a sip. The sweetness lingers in her mouth. The wine is indeed good. As for the female star who wants to be a servant, Lin Luoran doesn't even look at her. Crystal seems to be determined to irritate Lin Luoran. She asks the female star to roll up her sleeves in front of Lin Luoran. There are 2 teeth marks on Lin Luoran's pale wrist. Crystal puts the wrist to her mouth and bites hard. Lin Luoran can hear the sound of blood being sucked. Riddick cuts a special steak with a knife and puts it in his mouth. After eating elegantly, he explains, "This lady has volunteered to be a blood slave of the bloodline." Lin Luoran raises her eyebrows. "Oh." The female star's blood was sucked out, and her face had a hallucinatory look as if she was high on drugs. With the moonlight pouring into the room through the window and the flickering candlelight, there was a kind of seductive and breathtaking ghostly feeling. However, Lin Luoran's attitude is so perfunctory that Crystal loses interest in her performance. Lin Luoran sends the female star away, wipes the blood on the corner of her mouth, and looks at Riddick. Riddick looks more interested. He starts to understand that this female cultivator from the state of Huaxia is different from others. Some women are like daisies, which need to be taken care of. Some women are like wild roses, which can hurt one's hand if you are not careful. Vampires will encounter the first 2 kinds of women in their long lives. Another kind of woman is like Lin Luoran. You think you know what she is thinking, but it turns out that your plan is wrong. She is powerful and doesn't need your protection. You can't control her easily. You have to keep chasing after her and make yourself stronger so that you can control her body and mind. Riddick smiles, showing his cute canine teeth. Judging from his appearance, he does not look like a 500-year-old vampire anymore. Lin Luoran sees the eye contact between them. She finishes the wine in her glass and wipes the corner of her mouth. "Can we get down to business now?" The bat's small eyes flash with emotions that no one can understand. It flies out of the window quietly. The noise in the courtyard comes in through the window. This used to be a conference room in the old building of the textile school. Now it is decorated into a luxurious suite by the vampires. Lin Luodong looks at the steaming food and says to Huang Weijian, "Shall we play another game?" There is a game of Go in the suite. Lin Luodong has learned a thing or two from Rong, but Huang Weijian doesn't know how to play. Lin Luodong suggests that they play Gamoku with black and white pieces. After the initial panic of being captured, the two of them had been playing 5 in a row for a few hours. Huang Weijian shakes his head. "You will still lose the next game." Lin Luodong smiles bitterly. "Then what should I do? If I don't divert my attention, I will be tempted by the steaming food. You said that I can't eat it." The boy seems to be very distressed. Huang Weijian says again, "They are all monsters. The food is made of human blood. You can't eat it." Lin Luodong wails. "Monsters?" He doesn't believe it at first. This is the suburb of our city. How can there be foreign monsters in the courtyard? However, when he tries to communicate with the blonde man who guards them, the blonde man shows his fangs and Lin Luodong shuts up. Lin Luodong thinks that monsters are like Goldie and the cyan little fox. Huang Weijian said that they eat people. Huang Weijian doesn't want to play chess with him. Lin Luodong sighs and rolls around on the sofa, not caring about his image. "Lin Luodong, we are caught by monsters. Aren't you afraid?" Lin Luodong is from a family of cultivators. Even though he has no ability, he is still so bold. Huang Weijian is surprised by Lin Luodong's carelessness and boldness. Lin Luodong stretches. "Of course I am. But I know that my sister will come to save me, so I am not afraid." "Huang Weijian, what about you? Last time, you were able to deal with the snake. There is only one monster guarding us. Can't you deal with it? Why don't you run away?" Huang Weijian doesn't say anything. He wants to say that Lin Luodong can't run away. However, he still hopes that Lin Luodong's sister will come to save him. What about the old man who has been missing for a year? He always brags about his abilities. Will he come to save him? Outside the window, there is a tall osmanthus tree with an intoxicating fragrance. Suddenly, the branches shake abnormally. Someone is coming. Lin Luodong is happy. Huang Weijian points at the door and shushes him. Chapter 259. A transparent fishing line quietly extended into the room from the window. She avoids Luodong's face and goes through the room. The fishing line is thin, long, and translucent. If Luodong and Luodong didn't look out of the window, they wouldn't have noticed it. Huang looks at Luodong's face and guesses that Luodong probably knows who is coming. He is a little discouraged. It seems that it is not his grandfather. The fishing line is long and it slips out of the door. After a while, they hear the blood line moaning outside the door. Then it is silent. It must be tied up. Luodong stares out of the window. A golden light flashes and the iron bars of the window are cut like tofu. A small white hand grabs the iron bars to avoid making any noise. Li sticks her head out of the window and waves to them. The shadow of the laurel is swaying. The courtyard where the bloodline is having a party is not far away. Li sneaks in quietly. She is not only brave, but also successful. Even Luodong is surprised. Sister Shi is famous for being muddle-headed. When Yuan Yi also sticks his head out of the window, Luodong immediately understands. Is it because of the new apprentice of his sister? Yuan Yi waves to them. Luodong and Huang come to themselves and walk to the window. The window is not big. Yuan Yi jumps in and opens the door. The bloodline is tied up tightly. Somehow, he has passed out. Yuan Yi nods to Li Shi. She moves her fingers and the fishing line wraps around her wrist again. Let's go. Yuan Yi sprinkles a bag of powder on them, indicating that they can go. The fishing line flies out of Li Shi's wrist again and wraps around the bedpost in the room. She grabs Huang first, not Luodong. The teenager is surprised. Shouldn't she save Luodong first? However, Li Shi grabs his wrist and jumps down from the 5th floor with the fishing line. The wind whistles on Huang Weijian's face, mixed with the fragrance of bay. Those monsters are having a party in the yard. Huang Weijian can smell the disgusting smell between the tall flowering trees. Monsters are supposed to have sensitive senses. How come they don't notice the two people who are just a few steps away? Perhaps it was because of that bag of strange powder? While Huang Weijin is thinking, Li Shi'er grabs him and swings him out of the high wall. A young cultivator that Huang Weijin doesn't know is waiting there. Li Shi'er puts him down and jumps back into the wall again. He tried to talk to the cultivator, only to find that there were fine beads of sweat on the cultivator's forehead. He was pinching a strange seal with his hand, directing the abnormal white fog in the yard to wrap them up. So the monsters didn't notice? Huang Weijin was very smart and quickly figured out the key point of the matter. The white mist covered his body, the powder covered his smell, and the magical fishing line magic weapon. That was how he was saved, right? Huang Weijin thinks for a while and takes out the bald pen to prepare. Those monsters have searched him, but the bald pen is too broken. They throw it back without hesitation. Unfortunately, the canvas bag they have been carrying for many years is torn. Time seems to be slowed down. Xiao Xiaomu directs the white fog. Huang Weijin looks at the high wall alertly. Why hasn't he come out after such a long time? Huang Weijin suddenly realizes that the laughter inside the wall has disappeared. Did the monsters finish their party? The bald pen touches the wall and the ink disappears. Huang Weijin takes the opportunity to jump onto the wall. The fog is very heavy. Huang Weijin looks out from the top of the wall. In the window where the railing has been cut, 3 people are pushing each other. A bat is floating in the air, flapping its wings. The bald pen seems to have seen a ghost. It flies out of Huang's hand and flies to the bat. The crooked curve is the bald pen's writing. Chu Shibiao. Sister Shi, go. Lin Luodong knows that he is a hindrance, so he keeps pushing Li Shi. Yuan Yi smiles bitterly. The window is surrounded by the bloodline, whose eyes are shining with red light. They can't get away. The bald pen rushed to the bat's side. It turned its head, not paying any attention to the ugly pen. Very quickly, the bald pen used its actions to attract the bat's attention. It was already halfway through the writing, and the characters flashed with golden light as they leaped out from the tip of the pen. A large net covered the bat. The smell of burning spreads. The bat is burned by the golden net? If Crystal had seen this, she would have been astonished. The bat, who doesn't take the bald pen seriously, tastes the bitter fruit in a moment. The surrounding vampires are in an uproar. Yuan Yi knows that this is a golden opportunity. He takes out 2 porcelain bottles from his arms and smashes them on the ground. A burst of dust is flying. The ubiquitous white mist provides a good opportunity for the dust to spread. The inconspicuous powder soon makes these vampires sleepy. Their eyelids are so heavy that they want to close their eyes and have a good rest. The bloodline are pushing each other to stay awake. Let's go! Yuan Yi pushes Lin Luodong to Li Shi. Li Shi'er wants to pull him, but Yuan Yi shakes his head. Li Shi'er stomps her feet and swings out with Lin Luodong in her arms. The white fog wets their hair. The wind is cold on their faces. Li Shi'er swings the fishing line higher and higher. Finally, she is standing on the high wall. Li Shi'er sees the sword behind her. The bloodline screams. Lin Luoran looks out of the window. Of course, the white fog can't block her eyes. Li Shi'er is standing on the wall with Lin Luodong in her arms. Huang Weijin's pen has stopped the bat temporarily. The wings of the bloodline are covering the sky. Yuan Yi is holding a flying sword shining with green light. He is cutting the black wings of the bloodline. Nonsense! Lin Luoran says in a low voice. However, there is a faint smile on her lips. How did the 3 of them get to the yard? Crystal's face pops up from the side. Is this your apprentice in terms of the relationship between you and Huaxia? He is not that powerful. Lin Luoran smiles. Among the 3 of them, Li Shi'er's personal ability is higher. It is already beyond her expectation that she can get to the yard and save people. Xiao Xiaomu is too young. As for Li Shi'er, her personal ability is not related to her brain. Is it him? Yuan Yi. Lin Luoran looks at Yuan Yi, who is fighting with the bloodline. Yuan Yi is calm and he has improved his personal ability. He should be a good helper. The bloodline is about to pull Li Shi and Lin Luoran to the wall. Lin Luoran moves her fingers slightly. A beam of fire comes out of her fingertips. The fire passes through layers of white fog and passes by the tip of a bloodline's nose. The bloodline is so hot that he flies backward. Fire is the only thing that can end the immortality of the bloodline. The European Vatican used fire to burn countless vampires in the Middle Ages. This kind of powerful fire makes the bloodline even more afraid. The fire forms a wall. The bloodline doesn't know what to do. The higher they fly, the higher the fire goes up. Lin Luoran's voice rings in Li Shir's head, calming her down. You take the 2 kids and go first. Don't worry about Yuan Yi and me. Li Shir bites her lip and jumps down with Lin Luodong in her arms. Xiao Xiaomu looks reluctant. Li Shir asks him to disperse the white fog. The 4 of them run to the car parked by the road. The fire is about to go out. The golden net is shaking. The bald pen gives up on the bat and flies back to Huang Weijin's hand. The bat is furious. It wants to chase them, but Lin Luoran's eyes are fixed on it. Lin Luoran's eyes are calmer than the moonlight. The bat flaps its wings and stops. Contempt? Is the female cultivator looking down on it? Lin Luoran combs her hair, which is messed up by the night wind. The bead glows, which makes the bat even more confused. Lin Luoran ignores it. She doesn't even look at Yuan Yi, who is still fighting. She steps back from the window. The room is filled with the fragrance of red wine. Lin Luoran and the 2 vampires have drunk 2 bottles of red wine. Don't you care about him? Compared with a few years ago, Crystal feels that Lin Luoran is as calm as a lake, and it is hard to guess what she is thinking. Lin Luoran drinks a lot. She is relieved that Lin Luoran and Huang Weijin have been rescued. At the same time, she feels hungry. The steak on the plate is cold. Lin Luoran touches the steak with her hand and smells the fragrance of burning oil. Riddick can't help but laugh when he sees Crystal being embarrassed. The steak is finished. Lin Luoran also has 2 pieces of cake. When she is about to wipe her mouth, the door is opened and Yuan Yi is escorted in. How did you lose? Lin Luoran knows what he is thinking from his expression. Ask me? Yuan Yi cheers up a little. I was exhausted. Lin Luoran nods. Yuan Yi feels that he has regained his fighting spirit. Crystal and Riddick look gloomy. Chapter 260. If she says no, will the 2 vampires get angry? Now Lin Luoran has nothing to worry about. She even hopes that they will be angry out of shame. It would be great if they shed all pretenses of cordiality. Then they can go home and find their own mothers. However, Crystal doesn't even frown. She raises her eyebrows and says, "We have the technology in Europe. You can provide the formula. A pharmaceutical factory that can monopolize the world market. Are you sure you don't want to consider it?" Monopolize the world market? Lin Luoran's dream has never been this. If monopolizing the world market means leaking the formula left by the ancestors to foreign races with bad intentions, Lin Luoran is more willing to burn them down. If someone tells her to save the people of the world, she will just pick her ears. She drinks the water of the state of Huaxia, eats the rice of the state of Huaxia, and steps on the land of the state of Huaxia. She is weak and she has no energy to save other races. People say that the state of Huaxia is rich and supports the out-of-school children in Africa. What about the children of the state of Huaxia living in remote villages? Why don't other countries support them? When she was in college, a teacher who taught Mao Zedong thought Lin Luoran was a narrow-minded nationalist. Lin Luoran doesn't object at all. Yuan Yi curls his lips and says, "The state of Huaxia is a place full of heroes. There are many talents who can refine medicine. You think too highly of your so-called technology. These bat monsters dare to attack the pharmaceutical factory. Who gave them the courage?" Yuan Yi feels that things may not be so simple. Lin Luoran stands up and says, "It's late at night. I don't want to disturb you. I will not agree to cooperate with you for public or private reasons. Don't mention it again. Yuan Yi, let's go." She pushes the chair away and walks to Yuan Yi. The 2 vampires who are holding Yuan Yi can't help but take a step back because of Lin Luoran's momentum. Riddick smiles and buries his face in his arms. His shoulders tremble slightly. Crystal's voice suddenly becomes sweet. What should I do? I am more and more interested in you now. Let's not talk about the pharmaceutical factory. Are you sure you don't want to consider the sole partner of the bloodline? Unlike our descendants, we have equal status and power. You and I will live in this world forever. Isn't immortality what you Huaxia cultivators pursue? Lin Luoran laughs and stops. Immortality? Let's not talk about whether the blood clan has lived since ancient times until now. If the price of eternal life is to stay with people like you, I'd rather die right now. You're just ghostly creatures that live in the dark and can't even be exposed to sunlight for too long. What makes you think you're worthy of talking about souls? What a joke. Riddick's shoulders tremble more violently and his laughter comes out from his arms. Dana is right. This oriental female cultivator is Crystal's Waterloo. It's so rare for Crystal to be defeated tonight. It's so cute. Whoosh! As soon as the sharp chi of the sword falls, the long solid wood dining table is cut in half from where Riddick is lying. The bowls and plates are smashed all over the floor. The chair Riddick is sitting on moves backward like a ghost. The light of the sword doesn't stop until it reaches the wall. Riddick's sleeves are cut open and the gold cufflinks fall on the floor. Riddick's smile finally freezes. Lin Luoran's sword comes so fast and without any warning. If the sword is aimed at Riddick instead of the solid wood dining table, he will be in great danger even if he can dodge it. Let's go! Lin Luoran doesn't look at the siblings anymore. She calls Yuan Yi, who is still trying to figure out the sword. The bright sword spins in her right hand, emitting icy blue light. The other vampires are frightened by Lin Luoran's momentum. Nobody dares to step out and stop them. Lin Luoran has been wearing the cheap mask from beginning to end. Her golden mermaid dress is elegant and impeccable. Her back is straight. Yuan Yi is also standing like a javelin. Lin Luoran's skirt is winding, as if it is dragging a pool of golden sand. The ball in the yard has long been interrupted by Li Shi and others. However, the neon lights are still flashing, and the white fog is still there. The vampires can't look at Lin Luoran directly, maybe because of the golden dress or herself. Lin Luoran and Lin Luoran walk into the yard unhurriedly. Suddenly, a figure rushes out. Her face is pale because of excessive blood loss. Tears are welling up in her eyes. It's the Chinese actress. Lin Luoran thinks that she will beg Lin Luoran to take her away. However, the woman is angry. She points at Lin Luoran and scolds, "How could you? How dare you refuse to be my master's soulmate? Eternal life. How could you say no to the face of youth that will never fade?" Lin Luoran is so disappointed that she laughs in a low voice. "Soulmate? Do you still have a soul? For the so-called eternal youth, you gave up your dignity and became a blood slave of the vampires. Do you think you deserve to talk about soul?" The actress is stunned. She lets Lin Luoran walk past her. The golden dress hurts her eyes. When Lin Luoran and Lin Luoran reach the door, the actress kneels on the ground and cries, "I did nothing wrong. I don't want injections or liposuction. I just want to be young forever. What did I do wrong?" A blue sword light rushes up to the sky. It is Lin Luoran's bright sword. A cyan light follows them. In a few seconds, Lin Luoran and Lin Luoran have already flown out of the sight of the vampires. Crystal is confused. Riddick, she has made rapid progress. Huaxia cultivators' spells, flying swords and other magic weapons are wonderful. I am really worried about the living space of the vampires in the future. Riddick is surprised that his sister can be so sensible. Vampires have no body temperature, but he still puts a coat on her. "We came to Huaxia for living space, didn't we?" Crystal looks ferocious. She suddenly says to the bat standing by the window, "We took the risk to come to Huaxia, which is against the rules. You've seen the strength of Huaxia cultivators. If you're lying, I'll make sure you die a horrible death." The bat is combing its sparse hair and holding the windowsill tightly. It seems that it doesn't hear Crystal's threat. 10,000 years ago, the land of Huaxia was its home. Therefore, its dream is to set foot on the land of Huaxia one day and let the blood bat come back to the world. Lin Luoran makes a phone call to tell Yuan Yi that she is safe. Instead of going home, she flies to Mount Qingqing with Yuan Yi. The sword flies over Qingqing Taoist Temple. Lu Zheng wakes up from meditation. Why is she here at this moment? He changes his clothes and sees the sword landing at the medicine base. After thinking for a while, Lu Zheng closes the door of the temple and walks out. The base is shrouded in darkness. Wood Reiki nourishes the seedlings from time to time. Only the small wooden house on night watch is still lit. The hound barks from time to time. The whole base is quiet and peaceful. Yuan Yi stands with her quietly. In the darkness, he feels that Lin Luoran is not in a good mood. Is it because of the Huaxia woman who is willing to be the servant of the vampire bat? Yuan Yi guesses that this is not the best time to ask. Maybe Lin Luoran just needs to think quietly. Yuan Yi, why do you like making medicine? What? Can those powders be called medicine? Yuan Yi thinks about it. His master, who has reached the end of his lifespan, has scolded him for trying to make medicine and foundation-laying boluses in such an environment for many times. He said that it is just a pipe dream for a swordsman. A swordsman should focus on swordsmanship. Can it be that in the eyes of his current master, his unsightly powders can also be called medicine? Lin Luoran chuckles softly when he doesn't reply for a long time. A few years ago, when I first started cultivation, I just wanted to make a fortune by being able to distinguish jade from stone. Later, I hoped that cultivation could strengthen my body. Then I laid foundation step by step. I was poor, ugly, and had no education background. I could never go where I wanted to go, and I couldn't afford what I wanted to buy. Who could have thought that in just a few years, I could fly around the world on a sword, eat food with Reiki, open a pharmaceutical factory, and attract the attention of alien races? Yuan Yi, I am not telling you these to show off. I just want to tell you that it is not a shameful thing to have a dream. It is not a shameful thing to have a dream. It is just that some people choose to sell their souls and some choose to work hard in secret and stick to their dreams. Chapter 261. With his excellent performance in the kidnapping incident, Yuan Yi is gradually accepted by the Lin family. Of course, Li Shi-er doesn't think so. She still remembers Yuan Yi, who always quarrels with her and bullies her for no reason. The rabbit fur, made by Lin Luoran, is finally delivered to Lin's house when the weather is obviously getting colder. 3 women play a drama. Li Shi-er is wearing a rabbit fur scarf, Mrs. Lin and Wang Miao-yi are wearing coats, and Lucy is wearing a small jacket. They are chatting around the clothes. Yuan Yi and Zheng Tian meet, and they come to Lin's house together to report about the pharmaceutical factory. Grandmaster, we have mastered the prescriptions of boluses you gave us. However, we still need a lot of clinical trials to see if they are really effective. Yuan Yi takes out a tray with pills of different colors and sizes on it. It will take at least a few years for Lin Luoran to develop the base without cheating. Before that, she can only buy raw materials. Zheng Tian has also negotiated the approval of the pharmaceutical factory. The production line is being shipped from abroad. These samples are all produced on a small scale with test tools. Lin Luoran picks up a pill and throws it into her mouth under everyone's surprised eyes. Master Lin! Zheng Tian is totally stunned. Countless people will rush to do medicine testing as long as they are willing to spend money. He really didn't expect that Lin Luoran would take it as easily as eating a candy ball. Lin Luoran closes her eyes and feels the power of the medicine spreading in her body. There is a faint trace of Reiki, but it is a little irritable. This batch of raw materials of Chinese medicine bought by the Mu family is really good. It is a pity that the irritable Reiki can't be removed. It doesn't matter to Lin Luoran, but it is hard to say for ordinary people. The effect is good. However, for sick people, the Reiki is too irritable. There are many things that need to be improved, Yuan Yi. Yuan Yi nods again and again. Although the medicinal materials needed in these prescriptions of bolus are all common things in the world, he feels that the effect of the combination is surprising. Whether it is ordinary Chinese herbs or spirit herbs or exotic flowers, they all contain a certain amount of Reiki. When Reiki reaches a certain level, they become spirit herbs. The violent Reiki of the medicinal powder extracted from these prescriptions of bolus reaches a state of balance. This is simply amazing in today's era. Yuan Yi immediately knows the value of these seemingly ordinary prescriptions of boluses. In his mind, Lin Luoran once sold boluses to the world of cultivation. How did she make them? Is it because of a batch of special prescriptions of boluses like this? Yuan Yi feels that he has come into contact with the core secrets of the Lin family. While feeling anxious, he also feels that the responsibility on his shoulders is heavier. He is already on the side of the Lin family. Keeping the Grandmaster's secret is also keeping himself. Yuan Yi secretly makes up his mind that he must keep the prescription of bolus firmly in his hands and not let outsiders know it. In fact, Lin Luoran doesn't have any special prescriptions of boluses. The prescriptions of boluses she gives to Yuan Yi are all from the incomplete medicine book handed down by the Lin family. However, Yuan Yi misunderstands her. Lin Luoran doesn't know what he is thinking, so she can't explain it. Yuan Yi is very talented. Since he gives Yuan Yi the main medicines in the early stage, Lin Luoran will only give him suggestions at most. She won't force him to do anything. She has something more urgent to deal with. Crystal and her vampires are staying in the old building of the textile school in the western suburb of the city. It seems that they are going to stay in the state of Huaxia for a long time. Lin Luoran doesn't want them to live under her nose. She doesn't want them to live like this. After several fruitless attempts by the special department, the world of cultivation in the state of Huaxia has to prepare for war. That's right. It has been nearly 100 years since the last international war of cultivators. However, Crystal's arrogance finally annoys the moderate-natured seniors in the state of laying foundation of Huaxia. The longer these bloodlings stayed in Chengdu, the more insecure the safety of the people of China would be. Not to mention those far away, there was already panic in the western suburbs due to the frequent disappearance of people. There were rumors that blood-sucking monsters had appeared in the western suburbs, causing panic among the people. This is the reason why Master Mu, Master Gua, Qin Yun, and the head of the Wen family are ready to settle the score with the vampires, no matter whether Crystal and her people just want to eat fresh human blood or try to transform ordinary people into Eastern vampires. They are not allowed to do so. Lin Luoran doesn't hate vampires as much as the old people do. However, when she thinks about the fact that these half-human, half-monster monsters will appear in our city or even the entire state of Huaxia in the future, and that the state of Huaxia is suppressed by the Vatican, the fear and chaos among ordinary people will be inevitable. Instead of wasting a lot of effort to kill the Eastern vampires, who used to be their compatriots, more people are willing to stop the vampires in advance. Crystal's family has announced that they will no longer recognize the vampires she brought to the state of Huaxia. The female vampire doesn't care, so Lin Luoran can do nothing about it. The state of Huaxia cannot be touched. It seems that the only way left is to fight. The Japanese country across the sea also receives the news. Those sneaky Japanese cultivators who cultivate shikigami are trying to fish in troubled waters. When Lin Luoran contacted Master Gua on the phone, Master Gua snorted and said that the young cultivators should train their soldiers. It's fine if the Japanese country doesn't do anything, but if they do something, they should suffer. Chen Yun, the minister who is used to being an official, impresses Lin Luoran at this critical moment. In just 1 week, Minister Chen has transferred all the elites of the special department who are on missions around the world back to the city. These people are strange. They like to live near the Lin family as if it is the backbone. There are also individual cultivators who just want to join in the fun or really want to contribute. They all live around the Lin family. Rong, who is ignorant, finds that there are many strange faces in the high-end apartment with elevators where he lives. It is common for tenants to change, but isn't it too frequent and too sudden? Lu Jing also hangs out at the Lin family's house. The growth of the soul wood is at a critical moment. Bao Jia's name is more important to Lin Luoran. She asks Lu Zheng to keep his recent strange movements a secret. It is a luxury for the crazy Taoist to help a cultivator in the level of bearing essence. Lin Luoran doesn't want to interrupt the growth of the soul wood and the crazy Taoist who is in closed-door meditation. There is a kind of replenishing qi bolus at the middle rank of the grade 1 which can instantly replenish a lot of Reiki. Lin Luoran has made several batches of it. Before the war, she has been making bolus non-stop. If it weren't for something important today, she wouldn't have the time to talk about clothes with everyone. Lin Luoran looks at the island in the backyard. Goldie's big golden egg is shaking more and more violently. She has a feeling that this weird eagle egg will hatch tonight at the latest. This is obviously a good thing in the gloomy atmosphere. What kind of surprise will the hatched Goldie bring? Lin Luoran is looking forward to it. The blooming period of the laurel has passed. There are only small shriveled yellow flowers left. The fragrance won't come out anymore. The vampires living in the textile college are enjoying the fascinating nightlife in our city. They enjoy all kinds of bars and occasionally have some snacks. Life in the state of Huaxia is not bad. The vampires still have the luxury of the vampires, which is different from the dull England. They feel that they made the right choice to split with Crystal. How can there be such delicious blood in the slender bodies of the Easterners? The blood breeds had long since thrown the ban on developing Eastern descendants to the back of their minds and were immersed in the joy of fresh blood. A basement has been excavated under the textile college. There is a faint moan. A pregnant Chinese woman is sweating because of the pain. Under her, the whole mattress is wet with amniotic fluid. She is on the verge of giving birth. Please, take me to the hospital. Please save my baby. Motherly love helps the pregnant woman overcome the pain with her willpower. She turns over and grabs the leg of Crystal's trousers. The pregnant woman can feel the cold skin of the foreign woman through the cloth, but she doesn't have time to think. It has been more than a month since these foreigners took her here. She doesn't know what they want. Every day, they treat them. Yes, she is not the only one who is taken here. They treat them well. They only keep them in this dark basement. They don't ask for ransom from their families, nor do they want to kill them. They just keep them trapped like this. In desperation, the pregnant woman grabs the leg of Crystal's trousers to ask for help. Is she going to give birth? Crystal frowns. She doesn't like the dirty air in the basement because there are too many people locked in here. The female bloodline with blue eyes answers respectfully, Miss Crystal, to be exact, she is going to hatch. If Lin Luoran were here, she would recognize the voice of this doll-like European girl. It is Princess Qianqian who led Lin into the ball that day. Hearing that the baby is going to hatch, Crystal relaxes her frown. She has been waiting for this moment for a long time. She even took the initiative to bend down and hold the pregnant woman's hand. In Chinese with a curly accent, she said, "Don't be afraid. You'll be fine. After you give birth, we'll let you go home and give you a lot of compensation. You have to believe in yourself. You'll definitely be able to give birth smoothly." The pregnant woman is just a farm woman. Crystal and the others have been talking in English. She doesn't understand that they use the word hatch to describe the baby. However, because of Crystal's comforting words, the pregnant woman feels grateful and trusts the foreign woman who is holding her hand. Though Crystal's hand is cold, it gives the pregnant woman hope. The pregnant woman holds Crystal's hand tightly. The sharp pain in her lower body soon drowns her. In her half-conscious state, the pregnant woman hears the foreign woman saying in Chinese with an accent, "Come on, you can do it. You will be a good mother. Baby, my baby." After an unknown amount of time, the pregnant woman felt something being squeezed out from her lower body. She was already exhausted. Hearing the baby's cry, she finally couldn't take it anymore. Before she could even look at her child, she fainted. Chapter 262. The R City office of the Special Department is located in an office building in the bustling business district. It usually hangs the sign of Feng Shui House. In the past, exorcism was a feudal superstition. Even if it is a semi-official special department, it can't openly disagree with the government. It can only hang a sign of Feng Shui House to cover it up. Since cultivators have been known to the world, atheism has been questioned for a while. Many supernatural phenomena that couldn't be explained in the past have been attributed to gods and ghosts. Feng Shui House, which has always been popular among the rich and powerful, has become even more popular. Countless declining Taoists put on their Taoist robes again and come out to make a living with the 8 diagrams. They look like immortals and the profession of Taoist has become popular again. Xiao Xiaomu of the our city office is too young. At first glance, people can tell that he is not a man of Taoism in the eyes of the world. Those arrogant rich businessmen look down on Xiao Xiaomu, who is too young. Xiao Xiaomu, on the other hand, is much more peaceful and quiet for him to deal with the affairs of the special department in the our city office. The kind-hearted clerk of the neighboring company often suggests that Xiao Xiaomu should get a Taoist robe so that he can get business. However, he always prevaricates. Without the provocation of the bloodline, Xiao Xiaomu feels that his life will probably be working in the our city for a period of time. In leisure time, he will wait for another school fellow apprentice to replace him in the future. Then he will finish his family's training task and go back to the mountains to continue his cultivation. However, his current life had suddenly changed. Xiao Xiaomu suddenly feels that he has become the focus of attention from a marginalized and invisible person. More and more cultivators in the our city report to him all the time. They pay close attention to the movements in the western suburbs. Every day, countless trivial news gathers to Xiao Xiaomu, the local bully. Then he sorts it out and reports it to the senior officials who can make decisions. Before Master Mu and others arrive, and Minister Qin Yun has to stay in the capital, Master Lin is the most powerful senior official in the our city. Strength is the absolute truth. Xiao Xiaomu feels this truth more and more recently. His colleagues in the special department are easy to talk to, and his old brothers and sisters are easy to talk to. What he is most afraid of now is the group of individual cultivators who are too enthusiastic to him. Who is to blame? In fact, it's Xiao Xiaomu's fault. He is too young and can't keep his mouth shut. He accidentally reveals that Master Lin has a new apprentice. The circle is so big and there are many people who know Yuan Yi. Everyone knows that he is an individual cultivator. However, this individual cultivator, who used to have no power or influence, suddenly becomes Master Lin's apprentice. They don't know that Yuan Yi is a registered apprentice. Even if they know that Yuan Yi is just a registered apprentice, they are still jealous of him. It is not easy. Master Lin is the only laying foundation cultivator in recent years. Not only is Master Lin the only nominal apprentice, but he is also the last alchemist in Huayan. Those small reversion pills that were later hyped to sky-high prices, weren't they made by Martial Uncle Lin? Lin Ling, school Yang, he is Lin Yu. As a result, the rogue cultivators who dare not knock on the door of the Lin family all go to Xiao Xiaomu, who is said to have fought with Master Lin. Master, I is. Master, I master. Master, I is. This kind of person was the arrogant type. Bah, Xiao Xiaomu, I give you face, but you don't want it. You are trying to stop the relationship between Master and me. Of course, this kind of person is the friendly type. Lin Luoran has quietly become his master. It's all my fault. I shouldn't have been so hot-headed. He and Lin Luoran have only been in the same car. When it comes to fighting, he only controls the white fog through the wall. Yuan Yi is the one who contributes the most, and he is also the one who covers the rear. He is so brave. No wonder he can become Lin Luoran's apprentice. Xiao Xiaomu despises his cowardice while sorting out the news in his hand. Another woman from Rong City who went to Dujianjian on a business trip is missing. It happened one day ago. Xiao Xiaomu frowns. Why are they all in Dujianjian? His eyes moved and fell on a small line of words below. The missing person was a woman who was 7 months pregnant. Pregnant women? Why are they all pregnant women? Xiao Xiaomu seems to get something. He hurriedly turns out the recent information. Not only recently, but there are also several pregnant women among the missing people at the beginning. However, compared with the huge base number, it is difficult to attract people's attention. Inform Master? Yes, I have to inform Master. Xiao Xiaomu is so flustered that he forgets his phone. He picks up a stack of documents and rushes out. When he arrives at Lin's house, Lin Luoran has just finished collecting a furnace of replenishing Qi bolus. She is a little tired. Hearing Xiao Xiaomu's analysis, Lin Luoran can't help clenching her fists. Their target, from the very beginning, was the pregnant woman. She can't wait any longer. She has to act as soon as possible. Lin Luoran suppresses her anger and tells Master Mu about it. The situation is worse than she thought. Not only the island country but also the cultivators of the country of ice and snow in the north want to take advantage of the chaos of the bloodline. So, she can only rely on herself and a group of young people in the later stage of training Qi. Lin Luoran is silent for a moment. Then she whispers to Xiao Xiaomu. Xiao Xiaomu's young face gradually becomes serious. Lu Mei doesn't know how the person in front of the car got out. When she slams on the brake, she almost bumps herself out. After a long friction sound, she subconsciously covers her belly tightly. She has been pregnant for 7 months. For the first time, she realizes that she is driving alone. She should have asked her colleagues to help her. The new store in Dujianjian is important, but her baby is more important than her work. Thinking that she has hit someone, Lu Mei reluctantly gets out of the car. She picks up the phone and is about to call 120. Before the phone is connected, she sees the injured person lying on the ground. There is no blood on the ground. The injured person's face is on the ground, and her blonde hair is exposed under the hat. Judging from the figure, it is a woman. I hope nothing bad happens to you. The phone is finally connected. Before Lu Mei reports the specific location, the woman lying on the ground suddenly moves. Lu Mei hurries forward and asks, "Are you okay? Are you conscious? Can you talk?" Lu Mei squats down with difficulty and pushes aside the blonde hair covering the woman's face. She sees a pair of royal blue eyes blinking at her twice, and then Lu Mei passes out. Half asleep, Lu Mei feels that she is carried into the car. The car keeps driving. She tries to open her eyes halfway and sees many foreigners. When she wakes up again, a pair of brown eyes stare at her, which startles her. It is a woman with disheveled hair and stinks. Even Lu Mei, who is pregnant, almost vomits. She feels dizzy. "Where is this? For you?" The woman with disheveled hair doesn't answer her. Seeing that Lu Mei is awake, she turns to stare at Lu Mei's belly. Lu Mei can't help wrapping her hands around her belly. The woman laughs and points to her belly. She suddenly shows a gentle look. "Baby, my baby." Lu Mei feels that the woman is mentally abnormal and is afraid that she will hurt herself. She says, "Yes, this is your baby. Can you step aside and let the baby rest for a while?" The woman was very obedient and pushed her away. Just as Lu Mei was about to let out a sigh of relief and look around, the woman suddenly screamed again. "That's not my baby, it's a monster, it's a monster. The monster is eating people." That shrill scream sent chills down people's spines. Just as the woman rushed over, Lu Mei heard a muffled sound, and then the woman who attacked her fell down. It turns out that another pregnant woman saved her. Lu Mei finally finds that this is a huge basement. There are mattresses on the ground. On each mattress, there is a pregnant woman with a protruding belly. Some of them are lying on the mattress in a daze. It seems that they have already given birth. She doesn't know why she suddenly has such a sudden idea. Have they already given birth? Such a basement doesn't meet the requirements of a delivery room at all. "Thank you for saving me." She thinks for a while and decides to start with the pregnant woman who saved her. Years of frontline sales work have made her very good at observing people's expressions. This pregnant woman doesn't seem to be in a panic, so she should have come earlier than her. The pregnant woman smiles. "You won't be grateful to me soon." Lu Mei doesn't understand this sentence and feels a little embarrassed. But soon, just 2 hours after she woke up, another pregnant woman began to have labor pains. Seeing the woman rolling on the ground in pain and beating her belly, Lu Mei is shocked. Other pregnant women, including the one who saved her before, are all curled up on the mattress in fear. It seems that they don't want to help a dying woman. "How can you do this? Shouldn't you help her at this time?" Lu Mei is so angry that she struggles to get up. But she is pulled by the pregnant woman beside her. The haggard woman's face is full of tears. "Don't go over there. You can't go over there. She gave birth to a monster, a monster. Each of us will give birth to a monster, monster." Lu Mei really wants to ask what are you talking about, but she finds that the words of the haggard pregnant woman seem to open the vent of everyone's emotions. Everyone except Lu Mei begins to cry, and some are giggling. In the chaos, the whole basement is filled with a kind of atmosphere called despair. Lu Mei suddenly feels that her heart is tight. God, who can tell her what is going on? Chapter 263. The pregnant woman is about to give birth, beating her belly. Two pale European girls come down the basement stairs. Lu Mei recognizes the pair of sapphire blue eyes. Seeing the pregnant woman beating her belly like crazy, the female vampire sneers and grabs her hand. You humans are just SOSO. How can there be such a mother in the world who wants to kill her unborn baby? She is so strong that red marks appear on the pregnant woman's wrist. She desperately tries to break free, but the pain in her belly makes her weak. Her hair is wet with sweat. Monster, I don't want to give birth to a monster. The other vampire girl with flaxen long hair covers her mouth and laughs. It's not up to you. She is holding a tray with several syringes on it. The liquid mixed with red lines is shining with a strange luster under the incandescent light in the basement. Alice, pay attention to the hatching. I'll give some injections to the newcomers. The flaxen-haired vampire girl may not be able to speak Huaxia. She speaks English from beginning to end because of her archaic grammar. When Lu Mei hears the word hatching, she thinks she misheard it. However, seeing the foreign girl walking over with the tray, Lu Mei realizes that she is the newcomer the two girls are talking about. Injection? What are they going to inject into her? Is this the research base for biochemical technology like in the movies? Is that why these women say that the babies they give birth to are all monsters? Lu Mei covers her belly and steps back. She can't let them hurt her baby. However, the basement is so small, and there are many pregnant women living there. Lu Mei steps back, but she has already invaded other people's territory. The pregnant women are shivering. Her arrival only makes them more frightened. The girl with flaxen long hair has skillfully picked up a syringe. Her cold eyes sweep through the crowd and fall on Lu Mei. As soon as she takes a step forward, Lu Mei feels that the sky is falling. At this critical moment, the pregnant woman who has been in pain for half an hour has successfully given birth to a baby. A weak baby cries. The girl with flaxen long hair pauses and turns her head. What's the baby? Lu Mei curls up in the corner and thinks in shock. Shouldn't you ask whether the baby is a boy or a girl? Why do you ask what's the baby? Is the baby really a monster? The sapphire blue-eyed Alice seemed a little disappointed. Come and take a look. The flaxen hair retracts and puts down the tray. Lu Mei feels that she has escaped from death. She can't help but look at the pregnant woman who is giving birth. It is a wrinkled newborn with blood and dirt. Lu Mei sees his head first and breathes a sigh of relief. Although it is wrinkled and thin, it is indeed a normal baby. How can these people say that it is a monster? Another failure. Alice handed the baby to the girl with flaxen hair. The latter turned around, and Lu Mei finally saw the whole picture of the child. Under the normal head was a severely disproportioned body. There were no hands or feet, and there were claws in the corresponding places. And those pitch-black things, are they wings? Heavens, the area below the newborn's head clearly looked like a bat. Lu Mei felt that she had fallen into a cold pond. Her whole body was cold, and she could not help but shiver. These people are doing some kind of experiment on the pregnant woman. According to Alice, this is a failure, so the so-called finished product is a complete bat? Great fear tightly entangles Lu Mei like seaweed. She wants to escape and pass out, but God is against her. Lu Mei is very sober, very sober. Will she give birth to such a monster? Alice walks out with the monster baby in her arms. The girl with flaxen hair doesn't care about the weak postpartum pregnant woman. It seems that her mission has been completed after giving birth to the baby. She wipes the blood on her hands and holds the tray again. Lu Mei feels that her heart is pounding again. She has already felt the cold light shining on the tip of the needle. The girl with flaxen hair is approaching her. Who can help me? Honey, come and help me. Lu Mei, who is always cheerful, can't help crying. Her wrist is caught. Lu Mei struggles desperately in horror. The door of the basement suddenly opens again. Wait! It is Alice. She is back. At this moment, Lu Mei even wants to thank her. The monster baby in Alice's hands is gone. She runs in a panic. Seeing that the girl with flaxen hair hasn't injected it yet, she is relieved. Miss Crystal said that this batch of injections must be refined again. Don't inject the newcomers for the time being. Dodged a bullet? Lu Mei is stunned. She watches the girl with flaxen hair walk out with the tray. When the door of the basement is closed again, Lu Mei can finally relax for a while. The basement is a mess. Lu Mei is soaked. It is late autumn. She will catch a cold wearing wet clothes. Lu Mei wants to get some fresh air. She moves to the wall. It is a vent close to the ground. Lu Mei suddenly feels water splashing on her face. Is it raining? She hears the pitter-patter of the rain. Would this be the last rain before winter? Lu Mei sticks her face to the wall. These foreigners seem to be well organized. She doesn't know which wilderness she is in. Will anyone come to save her? The rain is pitter-patter. It is the quiet Tianfu Square in the dead of night. It is almost dawn, which is the time when people are sleepy. Only taxis pass by the square and look at the group of people in the rain curiously. Are they the expansion training of some company? Of course, they didn't expect that these people were the cultivators, who were extremely mysterious to ordinary people and rarely seen, to appear here in a group. The raindrops gather in the low-lying areas and wash the ground of the square. However, Xiao Xiaomu doesn't feel cold at all. There are many small porcelain bottles on the tray in his hand. Master Lin said that she will distribute them to everyone. Hundreds of cultivators in the level of training Qi in the square are staring at him. Then they look at Lin, who is standing in the front. She is shining with a dim light, blocking the rain within 3 feet of her. There are 3 replenishment boluses in each bottle. It should be enough for today. Is Master Lin going to distribute boluses? Many people are overjoyed. They have been taught to kill the aliens since they were young, so they don't think it is wrong. Lin Luoran is going to distribute boluses to them. Isn't that a surprise? Master Lin's products are all good. Lin Luoran glances at the crowd. She and Wen Guanjing are the most powerful ones here. The rest of them are dealing with the unaffiliated vampires. The rain has lasted for a whole day. It is said that the vampires love tidiness and don't like muddy rainy nights. Lin Luoran believes that most of the vampires are in the textile school at this time. She had to settle this matter before the next night arrived. She didn't expect that Wen Guanjing would come out so soon. He has completed the level of training Qi again and can go to the textile school with her tonight. However, what Lin Luoran doesn't expect is, the abandoned disciple of the Qingqing Taoist temple whom she hasn't seen for a long time. Now he is an unaffiliated cultivator. Lin Luoran can't find an excuse to stop him from joining them. There are many familiar faces in the crowd. They are her teammates who went to the secret land with her. Chu Yi is one of them. Li Shi also has a bad opinion of him. Chu Yi seems to feel guilty about it. In fact, Chu Yi just didn't make it to the end. Lin Luoran doesn't have the right to blame him. You and Chu Yi will split into 2 teams. Each team will bring 5 cultivators in the early stage of training Qi. Find the places where the vampires are active and kill them. Yes. The 2 of them say at the same time. They choose cultivators in the early stage of training Qi that they are familiar with. Those in the middle stage of training Qi take 3 steps forward. Lin Luoran pulls herself together and continues to assign tasks. It is the first time for her to lead so many people. It is a lie to say that she is not nervous. However, she has the highest level of cultivation here. If she is not confident, these people will lose their minds like headless flies. Among the hundreds of people, only about 20 are in the middle stage of training Qi. Lin Luoran looks at Wen Guanjing and the latter nods to her. Lin Luoran is more confident in her assignment. She says loudly, 20 people in the middle stage of training Qi, follow us. The rest of the cultivators in the early stage of training Qi will be divided into groups of 3. No matter what happens, they must help each other. Leave 30 people outside the wall. If anyone escapes, kill them as long as they are vampires. Lin Luoran's arrangement is reasonable and no one has any objection. Lu Jing touches his nose and smiles bitterly. His level of cultivation is still too low. This time, he is either waiting for a hare or he is in the same group as others. He is still far from being able to fight side by side with Lin Luoran. From this point of view, he is really jealous of the cultivator named Wen Guanjing. Xiao Xiaomu asks boldly, "Master, shall we go now?" Lin Luoran smiles, "Of course, we have to eat first. As your master, I can't be stingy with you." The door of a bus beside the square is opened. Fatty Chui, who is so fat that he can't even walk, squeezes out of the bus and shouts behind him, hurry up, girls." His wretched voice makes most of the young people in the mountains who only know how to cultivate themselves. God, is Master Lin going to give them girls? That is so evil. Everyone looked in the direction of the carriages. Sure enough, it was a group of young and beautiful women. Of course, it was not what they had imagined. They were all holding things in their hands. The rain gradually became lighter, and the golden sun leaped out from the clouds. The women were holding fruits, wine, and steaming hot roasted meat? What kind of combination is this? A cultivator who takes a peach feels his taste buds explode. The peach is so delicious and has a touch of Reiki. God, am I wrong? Chapter 264. It's 8 or 9 o'clock in the morning, and the sun is still warm and orange. If it were in late autumn, people would feel itchy and cold. However, for the bloodline, the time for revelry is over. They are creatures of the night. The sunlight will burn the skin of low-rank bloodline and they hate daytime. The sun at 8 or 9 o'clock is powerful. Most of the bloodline are sleeping in their coffins. The entire textile college is ruined and gray again. What is different is that the western suburb, which is supposed to be bustling in the daytime, is as quiet as the textile college. In order to avoid hurting the innocent, ordinary people have been temporarily relocated overnight. The reason given by the government is not that cultivators want to exterminate the bloodline, but that there may be biochemical weapons in the textile college. The people who have been poisoned by the biochemical movies have been moved away obediently. If it's a bomb, they will watch it. If it's a poisonous gas, who knows if it's a disaster? The military vehicle that Lin Luoran and her group take is spacious and efficient. All the people have been evacuated and the snipers are in position. If you don't send a signal, even a fly will be shot into pieces. Lu Sanchun takes the initiative to greet Lin and whispers in her ear. Lin Luoran nods. "Thank you, Lieutenant Colonel Lu." Lu Sanchun salutes. This action of Lin Luoran and Lin Luoran is semi-official. The elites of the army surround the textile school tightly. This is the last line of defense. They would rather waste some manpower than allow anyone to escape. Lin Luoran doesn't think this action is covert, especially when people are evacuated. The bloodline should have noticed it. They didn't do anything. Is it a huge trap? Lin Luoran raises her eyes and looks at the tallest building of the textile college. Crystal, the bat, and Riddick, who she can't see through, should be in that building. Without hesitation, she says, "Move." 3 cultivators in the early stage of training Qi form a line of defense within the line of defense of the snipers. Crystal stands on the top of the building and looks down at the wall of the textile college. She has already seen Lin Luoran standing on the military vehicle. Roddick pouted. "Little sister, what are you doing? We can totally evacuate." In fact, he agrees with Crystal's plan to revitalize the bloodline. However, he can't understand why Crystal is so high profile. Why did she provoke this female cultivator in the first place? There is a saying in Huaxia, you can only make a fortune by keeping quiet. If they had chosen a valley or an underground place to do the experiment, they could have made a big splash when they succeeded. Wouldn't that be the best of both worlds? That was Roddick's only complaint. Crystal comforts him with a smile. "Dear brother, are you worried about those descendants? If they all die in the hands of the Eastern cultivators, they're just a bunch of trash. Don't worry, we'll have better substitutes to act as descendants." Her slender and pale fingers point at the densely packed human heads outside the wall. The East is really a magical country. These cultivators, who are called cultivators, and try in vain to become immortals, have become her wedding dress. Roddick is just a young man, but he has lived for almost 500 years. The brother and sister have been together for hundreds of years, so they know each other very well. Roddick immediately realizes that the substitute descendants Crystal is talking about are the Eastern cultivators outside the wall. You're crazy. You must be crazy. You're bringing disaster to the bloodline. You know that these Huaxia people have always been called the descendants of gods. Roddick has always known that Crystal is rebellious and bold, but he never expected that she would try to fight against the Huaxia cultivators and turn them into vampires. This is forbidden by the bloodline. How dare she? Crystal shows a faint smile. Descendants of gods? Even if there is a god in the world, it's not the god of our bloodline. She lowers her eyes and murmurs, I've prepared for years for today. I'm sure I'll succeed. She suddenly raises her head and smiles at the bats on the windowsill. We will succeed, won't we? By then, I'll have a group of descendants with the most potential. Who can stop me in the East where there is no Vatican? You have a group of vampire bats. You can go anywhere in the world. The bat stares at her coldly. There seems to be a smile in its small eyes, which are usually expressionless. It has been dreaming for a long time to let the vampire bats come back to the world after leaving the secret land. That man is gone. Just like no one can stop the bloodline from spreading in the East, no one can stop the vampire bats from coming back to the godly land. As for the human race, it has hated them for a long time. 10,000 years of suppression has not worn away its hostility. Instead, it hates them more and more. Then, it will give them to the inferior bloodline. Although they are only half-monsters, they are much more pleasing to the eye than the human race. Crystal suddenly raises her voice, Alice. Alice, who has sapphire blue eyes, pushes the door open and says, Miss Crystal, I have to tell you a piece of good news. Recently, a pregnant woman gave birth to a baby. Although only the lower part of the baby is a bat, it already has the ability to suck blood. Crystal smiles. Her chestnut eyes are watery and her wavy hair is blown by the morning wind. She is really a European beauty. Junior brother Wen, our mission is to kill the 2 leaders of the blood clan. Lin Luoran never knew that she would be so warlike in the name of righteousness. Every cell in her body is screaming that she needs to fight and she is not afraid of fighting. When Guanjing holds the big sword in his hand and nods solemnly. As the captain of the special department, it is not the first time for him to fight against the bloodline. Therefore he is calm. Lin Luoran tilts her head and says, Young master, and can you give us some teleport figures and some petrification figures? If this is Lin Luoran's personal business, she will ignore and no matter how capable he is. However, in order to be fair, she has to make good use of Anne's strength, and has put all kinds of figures in his sleeves. He even has a few bamboo figures that Hui Zhu once gave him to save his life. After what happened in the Dragon Palace, and doesn't know how to face Lin Luoran anymore. When they meet again, he can only keep silent. Lin Luoran looks to the left. She has a headache. Huang Weijian said that his magic weapon can restrain the bat and he insists on following them. It is extremely dangerous for a cultivator at the early stage of training qi to face the bat. Huang. Before Lin Luoran can say anything, the boy clenches his fists and says, I will protect myself and stay far away from them. I am only responsible for restraining the bat monster temporarily. I will not act rashly. He is precocious and assertive. Lin Luoran can't change his mind. She has to remind him again. Then she casts a spell and flies over the high wall. It was the first time that the snipers hiding in the distance had seen the means of the cultivators. Someone was flying in the sky without any assistance in broad daylight. This was obviously in conflict with the law of universal gravitation that they had been taught since they were young. If they had not been well trained, they would not have calmed down after only a few seconds. Lu Sanchun stares at Lin Luoran. A few years ago, Lin Luoran saved Baojia. At that time, he didn't see the whole process, so he was not as shocked as he is now. She is flying. There is no steel wire or magic weapon that cultivators usually use. She is flying with her own strength. Flying. This is an ability that even some low-level cultivators are envious of. They look up at the figure flying high. The wind blows up her skirt and her long hair. She looks like a goddess of war coming to the human world. This is the young and powerful Master Lin. She has reached the level of laying foundation after 4 years of cultivation. She is the idol that everyone can't help but worship in this era of declining cultivation. Chapter 265. The morning wind stops. The western suburb has always been windy. The cyclones that people love and hate stop when they come to the building. Maybe it is due to the low air pressure or it is a coincidence. And throws several figures in his hands. They are fast wind figures, which are 1 level higher than teleport figures. Huang Weijian feels like he is floating, while he is feeling curious, and puts a bamboo figure in his hand. It is a warm bamboo piece, and says in a low voice, "Crush it when you are in danger." Some of the old buildings had already been set ablaze. The cultivators who were wiping out the small blood clan had already begun. Only fire can burn the dark side of the world. The bloodline is screaming. Sound waves are coming from all directions. When the sound waves gather around Lin, Huang Weijian is the only one who feels uncomfortable. The teenager frowns and writes 2 7-character poems. An invisible shield forms around him and the sound waves are blocked. The battle in the textile school is fierce. However, Crystal and her sister are very calm. They still don't want to show up. Lin Luoran doesn't want to play tricks on them. She draws the bright sword in her hand and the blue light of the sword becomes stronger. Lin Luoran doesn't care about her moves at all. Ordinary steel and cement can never withstand the attack of a grade 5 flying sword. The whole building collapses in front of everyone. This scene boosts the morale of the cultivators who are fighting. Even the bloodline feels scared. They are just low-level bloodline with different talents. However, none of them can destroy a building so easily. Is this the real power of the Huaxia cultivators? 2 people fly out of the building before it collapses. They spread their wings and create a hurricane that fills the battlefield with dust. One is beautiful and the other is handsome and cute. They both have the same high noses and deep eyes. Their hair color is lighter than chestnut. They look similar. Who else can they be but Crystal and Riddick? Ruining someone else's house isn't something a true lady should do. Roddick didn't know how he could still laugh, but he spoke with a hint of indifference. Lin Luoran holds the sword horizontally. "Sorry, the last 3 generations of my family were farmers." Lin explains to Riddick. However, the place where the sword light is rushing to is where Crystal is floating. The bright sword is covered with white light. Lin doesn't see the little bat. She feels uneasy. She has to kill the brother and sister as soon as possible. Crystal's impression of Lin Luoran seems to be the same as a few years ago. At that time, Lin Luoran was still in the later stage of training Qi. Lin Luoran's attack was strong, but she still had a chance of winning. Crystal knows the levels of cultivators in Huaxia, but she has never fought with a cultivator in the level of laying foundation. It seems that there is only a small gap between training Qi and laying foundation. In fact, cultivators in the level of training Qi can only use Reiki, while cultivators in the level of laying foundation have Wakan inside their bodies. Their strength has changed. Even though they are both using grade 5 flying swords, the power of Lin Luoran's attack has changed dramatically. Due to her carelessness, Crystal almost suffered a great loss. She dodged the sword awkwardly. Riddick wants to help, but when Guanjing, who has completed the level of training Qi, is enough for him to deal with, and is standing next to Huang Weijian. He doesn't go to help. His figure paper must be used in unexpected situations. With someone standing beside them, the teenager feels less nervous. The bat he saw last time doesn't show up, nor does the bald pen. Where is it? After calming down, Crystal's killing intent is even more intense. She has lived for hundreds of years. In recent years, many people have been killed by her, not to mention ordinary people. Even members of the bloodline have died in her hands. Crystal is much more experienced than Lin Luoran. The 2 of them are evenly matched for a while. What makes Crystal angry is that speed has always been the advantage of the bloodline. When they move to the extreme, they can even leave a shadow. No matter how Crystal moves, Lin Luoran's flying sword seems to know where she will appear in advance. The sword is ready, waiting for her to show up, and the blue light will fall. What confuses Lin Luoran more is that Huaxia cultivators are known for their weak physical bodies. Huaxia cultivators are famous for their long-range attacks. Lin Luoran's strange spells have indeed troubled many foreign cultivators. However, why is Lin Luoran's speed not much slower than hers? While moving, Crystal doesn't leave a shadow, but she can catch up with Crystal in an instant. Huaxia cultivators have thousands of spells. Of course, Crystal doesn't know that this is the added value of the high-level, fast-wind figure. It is even easier for Crystal to predict where she will appear. Lin Luoran focuses half of her spiritual mind on Crystal. As long as Crystal's teleportation range is within the range of Lin Luoran's spiritual mind, Crystal won't be able to escape. The spiritual mind of a cultivator in the level of laying foundation can extend to several kilometers. Compared to the momentary entanglement over here, the three-man team led by a mid-stage chi condensation cultivator was able to make those low-level blood tribe members who had just entered Dreamland suffer under the circumstances of proper offense and defense. In fact, it was more appropriate to describe it as a one-sided victory. The triangle was a very stable structure. As soon as a member of the blood clan was left alone, he would be surrounded by a three-man team. The cultivator in the middle stage of chi condensation was responsible for attacking. If the blood clan was slightly unable to withstand it, the three-man team would beat him up. This kind of method was naturally not open and aboveboard if it was used in a martial arts competition. However, on a battlefield where it was either you die or I die, not only was the attack effective, but the companions could also help each other and greatly reduce the casualties of the Huaxia cultivators. They haven't experienced this kind of pleasure for a long time. In fact, in similar situations in the past, some people have come up with a way to form a team with the 5 elements complementing each other. However, the Taoist route is very rare, not to mention becoming a cultivator in today's declining world of cultivation. In the past, all of them were talented. Geniuses look down on geniuses the most. They are not convinced by their companions, so naturally, they won't cooperate. In everyone's eyes, only Lin Luoran, who stands out from the crowd of geniuses and leaves everyone else far behind, can convince these awkward young cultivators with her strength. They are willing to listen to her and be twisted into a rope. When Guanjing almost achieved this kind of prestige at that time. However, he is just a peer. They call him Brother Wen. How can he be called Uncle Master by Lin Luan? There are also some members of the bloodline who don't want to fight and try to break out of the encirclement. After flying out of the wall with wings on their backs, the team of 3 guarding outside is bored. When they see a member of the bloodline flying out, they throw fireballs and hailstones at him without hesitation. After letting the member of the bloodline enjoy the taste of ice and fire, they force him to the ground with magic weapons. It will be easier to fight on the ground. However, Lu Zheng has not been tempered in actual combat. He is scratched by the long claws of the bloodline and a large piece of flesh is taken away. Lu Sanchun recognizes Lu Xiaodong, who almost becomes the grandson-in-law of the Qin family. He sees him covered in blood through the telescope and orders the sniper near him to shoot in a muffled voice. But now, with a dull sound, there is a rain of blood in the middle of the bloodline's eyebrows. A small blood hole is unfathomable. He looks at the direction of the sniper with unwilling eyes. The leader of the team of 3 seizes the opportunity to cut off his head and throws a fireball on him. The bloodline has no way to survive. The bloodline may die without understanding that he will die in the hands of an ordinary soldier after drinking so much blood in his life. The civilization of science and technology finally shows its power. As long as it is used properly, these firearms are also nightmares for cultivators. Lu Sanchun sees this scene through the telescope and pats the shoulder of the sniper next to him to show encouragement. The tight camouflage uniform cannot hide the sniper's figure. She turns out to be a female soldier. Feeling Lieutenant Colonel Lu's praise, Lin Qingxue feels so excited that her palms are wet. She actually shoots a vampire. It's incredible! More snipers are encouraged. They ambush in the buildings in all directions and by the windows, teaching the bloodline a painful lesson from time to time. Lu Sanchuan's serious face softens a little. According to the current situation, it will be a great victory this time. The screams of the bloodline who is burned to death stimulates Riddick, who is softer than crystal. Many of the dead bloodline are his descendants. He gives them the embrace and accompanies them through the most difficult period of transformation. He also teaches them how to be a qualified bloodline wandering in the dark. Although it is not as close as the father-son relationship of human beings, it is much stronger than the relationship between ordinary teachers and students. Hearing the shrill screams and seeing the bloodline die in the hands of Huaxia cultivators one after another, Riddick realizes that it is not as easy to accept as he thought. Compared with the ambitious crystal, he wants this group of descendants whom he has been with for many years more. You forced me to do this. There is cyan light flowing between Riddick's dark wings. Lin Luoran, who accidentally glances at Riddick, remembers the completely different attacks of Crystal and Dana. Lin Luoran blocks Crystal's attack with her sword and shouts to Wenguanjing, "Watch out!" As Riddick moves his 10 fingers, a cyan crystal is condensed in front of his chest. Wenguanjing has already set up the fireproof dome. The cyan crystal hits the fireproof dome and suddenly explodes. It is not like a bomb, but like spider webs, wrapping the fireproof dome layer by layer. It seems that Wenguanjing is trapped in a cocoon of his own making. He has trapped himself a few feet away from the fireproof dome, but he doesn't dare to remove the fireproof dome, otherwise the spider webs will entangle him. Riddick rushes to a cultivator in the middle stage of training Qi who is about to kill the bloodline. He is so fast that ordinary cultivators in the middle stage of training Qi can only look at him in the dust. Before the cultivator can cast a spell, Riddick scratches his back and lifts him up. Riddick's sharp teeth have broken out of his mouth and bites the cultivator's neck. As long as Riddick stops sucking blood, the cultivator will be sucked dry in a few breaths. The team of 3 cultivators in the early stage of training Qi is shocked by Riddick's strength and they don't react for a while. The blood full of Reiki refreshes Riddick. He has never drunk the blood of a Huaxia cultivator before. It turns out that it is so sweet and delicious. At this moment, he has a feeling that Crystal's risky plan to develop in Huaxia is worth it even for such delicious blood. Riddick looked as if he was walking on air for a short while. For yellow talismans surrounded him without making a sound. An, who has been acting like an invisible person, finally makes a move, the figure circle of Qingqing Taoist Temple. Chapter 266. Even Lin Luoran doesn't expect that An, who is only in the middle stage of training Qi, has mastered an offensive figure circle. Lin Luoran has seen Huizhu and Enyu's figure circles. She thinks that figure circles are just used to control the enemy with the power of overlapping figures. She has never equated it with big weapons. Not to mention Riddick, who has been living in a remote corner of the UK. He is really strong. Seeing that she is surrounded by 4 figures, he doesn't care at all. Compared to the bodies of humans, the bodies of vampires were much stronger. Riddick had never thought that he would be injured by an electric bolt as thick as a pinky finger. Shaoan controlled the rune array and accurately avoided the cultivator who was caught by Riddick. The electric bolt hit Riddick's cheek close to his fangs. With the burning pain, Riddick even suspects that his teeth have lost their strength. Not only that, the electric light is spreading all over his body. He is so weak that he can't catch the cultivator in the middle stage of training Qi anymore. The cultivator, who has lost too much blood, falls to the ground with only 1 breath left. What are you waiting for? After the figure circle, An adds another petrifying figure and shouts at the 3 cultivators who are dumbfounded. The 3 of them, who lacked actual combat experience, suddenly realized what was going on. In a flurry, they dragged their dying senior brother back. Their eyes were red, and they threw all kinds of spells at Riddick, most of which were fireballs. The range of the rune circle was limited, so Riddick had lost his speed, which was his greatest advantage. Coupled with the petrification spell from Shaoan, his black wings were getting heavier and heavier. For a moment, he was forced into a dangerous situation by these young cultivators. The cold-blooded Crystal has feelings for her brother. Seeing that he is in danger, she flaps her wings and gets out of Lin Luoran's attack range. She doesn't save Riddick first. A bloody light forms between her fingers. Lin Luoran's pupils shrink. She is familiar with this move. It is the blood punishment that Crystal used in the Batcave. The power of blood condenses into a knight's long sword. The red light cuts it, of course, and won't stay there and wait for Crystal to kill him. He has been using the fast wind figure on himself. However, if he runs away, the figure circle will not be able to trap Riddick, who is very powerful. Is the situation that Lin Luoran has worked so hard to win? Is it going to be destroyed by Crystal's attack? Lin Luoran feels that she can't let this happen. The moment Crystal turns around and flies away, she has already pulled the bow and arrow. And, who was a little flustered by Crystal's momentum, surprisingly calms down. A fiery arrow is put on the bowstring. This scene can't be more familiar. In the Hall of Nothingness, Lin Luoran's powerful arrow even pierced through Exin Yuanping's black lotus petals and made her vomit blood. When In barely avoids Crystal's blood punishment, he has a strange thought. As expected, being Master Lin's teammate is more reassuring than being her enemy. As he dodged, the glyph formation lost control, and Roddick was about to escape. At this time, the sun is about to rise to the middle of the sky. It is only a few minutes away from noon. When the arrow leaves her hand, Lin Luoran feels that this arrow is no less powerful than the arrow formed by the strange fire in the Dragon Palace. Lin Luoran can't help but look up at the sun above her head. Is it because the environment here is completely different from that of the Dragon Palace? Or is it because of the coincidence that the Arrow of Light is acting strangely? Is the power drawn by the spell the most amazing power of the Arrow of Light, the power of the sun? The arrow is an inanimate object, so it can't answer Lin Luoran's question. It comes at Crystal with unparalleled power. Sensing the danger, the bloodline girl turns around. She can't fight against it, so she has to dodge. If it can be dodged so easily, it doesn't deserve to be called Arrow of Light. The speed of light is faster than the speed of sound. No matter how powerful Crystal is, she is only a member of the bloodline, not a primitive monster. The Arrow of Light, which can kill opponents of a higher level, is accurately shot by Crystal's wings, which are glowing with golden light. At the same time, the glyph formation collapses, and Roddick escapes. Crystal is not only hit by the arrow. To be exact, the body that she is so proud of is vulnerable under the power of the arrow. With a flash of fire, the root of Crystal's wings is pierced. The Arrow of Light missed Crystal by a few inches. Seeing that the bloodline girl's wings are seriously injured and falling down, Lin Luoran feels sorry that she didn't kill Crystal with one shot. The Arrow of Light feels its master's resentment. After piercing through Crystal's wings, it runs out of power. When the cultivators of Huaxia are all running away in fear, the descendant saved by Roddick is pierced through the heart by the arrow. The descendant is nailed to the tall laurel tree in the yard. His sister is seriously injured and his descendant is shot to death. Roddick no longer finds Lin Luoran interesting. He wonders if today's tragedy was destined when Crystal fell in love with Lin Luoran. He flies to catch Crystal, who is falling down. When he falls to the ground, his blackened face is still twitching. Lin Luoran rolls her eyes. The fire bow, which is engraved with a three-legged gold crow, appears in front of her again. The powerful arrow makes Roddick feel hopeless. He holds Crystal tightly. Their cold bodies can't warm each other, but he stubbornly wants to pass more strength to his sister. Crystal, who should be scared, buries her head in Roddick's chest and smiles creepily. When Guanjing finally finds a way to deal with the spider silk. After the dazzling fire, he is released from the world and comes to Lin Luoran quickly. The fatal arrow in Roddick's imagination doesn't fall. He looks up and finds that Lin Luoran is aiming at the laurel tree behind them instead of the siblings. Lin Luoran is sweating. When Guanjing and An are confused, Huang Weijian, who has been vigilant, is also staring at the laurel tree. The body of the bloodline is still under the tree. Nothing seems to be wrong. However, the bald pen in Huang Weijian's hand is shaking uncontrollably. Fear, joy, excitement. Such complicated emotions are passed to Huang Weijian by the bald pen. He knows that the bat monster has shown up. Venerable, are you still not coming out? Lin Luoran is very nervous, but she is also confident. No matter how powerful the bat is, it can't be the real one in the black fog on the magnetic mountain. If it is the bat, she would have been swallowed by the monster a long time ago. Lin Luoran is very nervous. Lin Luoran can't forget the feeling when the black fog looked at her bead. Lin Luoran feels that it knows the bead. In her eyes, anyone who knows about the bead, no matter human or monster, will covet it. Lin Luoran can't imagine who made such a powerful spirit treasure. Is it a real god? Lin Luoran is so nervous that her palms are sweating. The bow and arrow are not real, but her palms are wet. Lin Luoran is so focused. If that arrow had really drawn the power of the sun, would it have been able to kill the bat with that kind of power? Lin Luoran tells herself that her arms are steady. Most of the low-rank bloodline have been killed by the United Huaxia cultivators. The whole yard is scarlet, mostly the blood of the bloodline. The Huaxia cultivators have finished the battle. Feeling the solemn atmosphere, they stay away from the laurel tree. However, they don't give up on surrounding the two high-level bloodline on the ground. With a burst of laughter, a pointy face appears on the trunk of the laurel tree. It is the vampire bat. How have you been, humble chi trainer? A bat spoke. All the cultivators retreated. Compared to the half-demons of the blood clan, this bat that could speak was the real demon, right? However, no one knows that it is not an ordinary bat monster, but a powerful monster that dominated the primitive land tens of thousands of years ago. Lin Luoran is not in the mood to catch up with it. When the bat monster appears, she shoots the arrow of light at the half-meter-long vampire bat. Compared to Riddick's despair, Lin Luoran sees the disdain on the bat's human-like face. This female chi trainer has forgotten her past again. It seems that she has to make a deeper impression on her this time. The wings of the blood bat suddenly extended, and the entire textile school was instantly covered by a black curtain, losing all light. You're tuning in to the Passion Pages YouTube channel. We're so grateful for your support, and don't forget to subscribe to join us on this incredible journey through captivating stories. Your generosity through donations truly makes a world of difference, as it's the primary source of revenue that allows me to expand and enhance this channel for you. Thank you from the bottom of my heart for being a part of this adventure.